Gather round, we got no gods to please. Saturday night, no sermons, just ease. Discussions flow like midnight breeze. No prophets here, just minds to tease. We talk big bangs and evolution. Question faith with our solution. Stars align in our confusion. Breaking free from old illusion. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Fun and laugh at myth believers. Here we're all truth seekers. Open hearts and swift deceivers. Make a stand, no hidden levers. Raise your glass to reason's thrill. No ancient text, it's our own will. Debate till dawn, feel the chill. Saturday night, we've got the skill. Echoes of a godless choir. Like the world, we spark the fire. Free thought mindset to inspire. No holy walls to take us higher. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Fun and laugh at myth believers. Here we're all truth seekers.
Righto. Welcome to Saturday Night at the Atheists. And welcome Mike and Scott and Simos to Saturday Night at the Atheists, my
Thank
fellow
you.
atheists.
Thank you very much.
Mike's got a new mic, so we
Yeah.
should be able to hear him real good this week.
I am a new mic. I'm
Oh
actually.
my gosh, you sound like James Earl Jones. Where can I get that mic, Mike?
I'm living the new mic. I'm actually.
I am the new Mike.
I have been resurrected.
And
One
hi,
could say.
hello, Deep State and Fred and Tilting Windmill. Good to see you, as always. Tons of mice in here. Fred's here from overseas. Good to see you. Happy Easter to everybody. Even though it's not much of a celebration, we were just talking about how the connection got between eggs and chocolate and Jesus is rather confusing to most kids, but I don't think most kids don't care. We sure didn't. We got chocolate and other candy and goodies. And hi, Top Dog, how you doing? So you don't question it when you're a kid. I mean, somebody gives you candy, what are you going to do? Say, I don't want it? No, you don't do that. So we just accepted that Jesus came around and gave everybody chocolate. So hey, what a guy, right?
You know, Easter was never really a big deal at my house. My parents never went to church, and they were so sick of Valentine's Day and Thanksgiving Day and Halloween, Christmas, getting Christmas shit for us. They just didn't want to mess with, another holiday. So by Easter time, it was like, fuck it,
I remember dressing up and going to church, and we used to trade dinners off, and we'd go over to Grandma's house some years, and some years she'd come over, and we got an extra basket that way. So again, we didn't complain because we had Easter baskets all over the place full of candy. We were juked on sugar, so yeah, it's all good. And I do remember, it was revered as a holiday, but not so much for Jesus. It was more of a you go to church thing. I don't know. Jesus wasn't mentioned that much. At least I don't remember it. I'm sure in the sermons and stuff they talked about it and stuff, but yeah, that it always seemed kind of odd. It went right from Jesus to chocolate. I mean, you woke up in the morning and he had candy, and then it's like, hold on, we got to go to church, so you gotta ignore the basket for an hour or two and go to church. But yeah, after that, it was all candy and spending time with grandma and grandpa and stuff. Not so much the Jesus thing.
Even in the church, they didn't mention Jesus all that much, except on Christmas. You heard about Jesus on Christmas. On Easter, yeah, you'd hear about him a little bit, but it wouldn't be a big deal. And the rest of the year, it was all God, 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 God.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's Jesus. So is that like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Something happened.
There's only a couple times where we did the Christmas thing, but that it wasn't all, always on the weekend and stuff, like Easter Sunday. So
yeah.
Well, you guys missed a trick then, because every time Easter came around for me, I mean, certainly, after the age of about 12 or so, I just kept banging on about the bunnies, telling the girls about the bunnies. Yeah, isn't it great? It's bunny time of the year, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Go, what do you mean bunny time of the year? And I go, well, that's when you, we're celebrating that it's spring and all the bunnies are up to it,
Yeah, I said it was kind of weird with the whole how eggs and chocolate and candy and presents and then Jesus all got rolled into one. It's as weird as we're rolling everything into Easter and having Santa, and I don't know. They just wanted to have Jesus in there somewhere.
No, it's normal. It's normal. When Christianity took over, they took over the holidays. Pagan holiday before that, spring pagan holiday.
That's all it is, really.
Which is where the bunnies come from, right? Because it's springtime. Obviously, they celebrate fertility in spring. So it's a fertility festival, or certain time of the year. And the same with eggs, right? Eggs are very show the fertility of chickens, etc. And eventually they got together, right? So,
the bunnies and the eggs.
Yeah, the bunny. Well, it's particularly one bunny. This is pagan stuff again, right? So there was one bunny that was allegedly produced eggs. It was very fertile and produced eggs. That's
a lot of eggs. Yeah.
Were assigned, and then later on in the 18th century or 19th century, I should say, America, then they started getting, basically made of chocolate for the kids.
So, you know where the basket came from? I'm just checking. It came from children making a nest for the bunny. And didn't the word Easter come from estrus or something? Would it have something to do with fertility?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was a fertility festival.
Folk spring customs onto a Christian feast. So they basically put the two together, which is kind of cool. So,
but that's what they do. That's what Christianity did to get the pagans over, right?
Yeah.
They basically just adopted the pagan festivals into their own rights, and then
we can thank Fangs for the chocolate. That's
I learned something today. Today I learned that when you have sex with a woman, your sperm hang around. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm doing a Monty Python.
Okay, your sperm hang around for 6 days, up to 6 days, stalking the egg. They're basically stalking. They're like creepy little things that hide in the fallopian tubes and wait around for eggs to come. And it's like, whoa, that's stalkerish. So sperms are,
some would say sacred. Right? You may
Sacred?
say sacred, but I would say sacred. Every sperm is sacred. So
I
obviously,
didn't.
that's
Well,
another Monty Python reference.
oh,
Don't know.
yeah.
From The Meaning of Life, when all the Catholics sing every sperm is sacred.
30% of the eggs never actually make it down the tube and embed into the uterus. So 30% of them get aborted right off the bat. And then a whole bunch more disappear. Another big chunk, another 20% disappear trying to become a baby. So God is the biggest abortion clinic or abortionist ever. So
If you go by the Catholic thing, yeah.
yeah.
I found it's much more efficient form of termination. I'm not sure I can say this joke. Sorry, I'm not. I'm just gonna pull out of that joke if that makes any sense to
The
the
woman
joke.
only makes one egg, and she rarely gets impregnated, and the man makes millions of sperm only for them to be killed, and that's intelligent. So
That's brilliant.
Intelligently designed system, that's for sure.
hello, Native. How you doing? Yeah,
You need the nub. You need the nub to spray the eggs, but not 1/8 of a nub. You need a whole nub.
part of a nub.
Part of a nub. Pro nub. Yeah, we would call it a pro nub in embryology. So anyway.
And then there's all the traps that are set for the poor little guys by the woman. She's trying to take out as many as she can. And then there's the whole men's store there's on the outside because they're not fit for the temperature inside a human body, which that always killed me in biology. It's like, now wait a minute. We store them on the outside because they're not made for, or they're not, they don't tolerate body heat well. That doesn't make any sense either. And of course, they have no protection at all. And so if there is a God, it can't be a guy, because a guy would have put a cage around that like he did the heart and everything else, Hiya, Katie, how you doing?
Also, I don't think he'd put the G spot in the rear. I think if it would have been a guy, he would have put it somewhere else.
That's hidden away, and just all kind of goofy things, but it's intelligently designed, and it's like not by a guy.
Yeah.
Certainly not. There's a lot of hand raising going on in biology class. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the biggest is once girls learn to kick guys in the crotch. Wait a minute. You're saying God is a guy and he put them suckers out there just asking to be kicked? It's like that don't make no sense at all.
You don't know what kind of guy he is, though, do you? He could have been one of those kind.
Could have been one of those kind. That's right. Pays somebody to get nailed there.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Like who is it? Our defense secretary or whoever she was. The old man is
cross-dresser.
Yeah, with his boobies and
that poor man. That photo is everywhere.
I watched the one comedian had a bit about it earlier, and I was watching on YouTube, and he was just razzing it, and Hal Sparks was all over it, and Dusty was everybody's just having a field day with the giant balloons all blown up and everything. It's like, gee whiz. And of course, he didn't try to hide his face or anything. He just went on camera like, nobody even cares anymore. They just figure nobody's going to say anything or whatever. I don't know. And then it went on for how long before, she was kicked out and stuff. And back in the day, the puppy would have been enough, but it's just weird. Just very, very odd times do we live in that nobody gives a crap anymore about things people do.
They ran a couple of videos on the South Park thing with her, with the brown nose.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my God, that
was
that was
funny.
amazing. That was
hey
just over the
Jasper,
top.
how you doing? Jasper,
That was
hello,
the
hello.
that was the creepy hat Halloween episode where Melania had her creepy hat on that she wore in England.
Oh
And,
yeah,
yeah, that was a great episode. That was great.
Is she here?
Yeah.
Standing over in the corner.
Yep. He keeps
Just
seeing.
kind
I
of
keep seeing
blending
her.
in. She is creepy too. She is.
She is a creepy person.
I don't know.
I think I don't know. Maybe it's because of who she lived with for a long time.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
She definitely sold her soul to the devil.
Yeah.
Well, allegedly, she was one of the people that was procured for Trump's enjoyment on the island.
Now, don't talk against Melania. She got one of those Einstein exceptions for her immigration. So apparently she's really genius.
Yeah, she made the most of a bad situation, that's for sure.
Hey, you got to give it to her. She took advantage everywhere she could, and she's got quite a prenup and everything else. I understand.
She certainly took it everywhere she could. That's for sure.
Barron is well taken care of, so if anything happens, he's set for life too. So she was smart enough to do that, or her lawyer was, one or the other. But yeah, then we've got the whole mess going on with we're going to have under $2 a gallon gas, and it's over $4 a gallon. So we're doing really good there too. Hooray, hooray. Drop some more bombs and see how the gas prices are doing.
Same in Europe as well, by the way.
Yeah, he's screwing it up for everybody. It's not just us. Everybody's getting screwed, and the Straits of Hormuz are getting screwed for all of Europe, and we don't even use it. And so we don't even use it. Then why are we screwing it all up?
Yeah.
Just to get everybody begging or something. I don't know, but he's certainly not doing good with our allies, and not that he ever has. Hello, Martine. Hello, Skeptic. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, he's not making many friends anywhere. Well,
all the right friends to call it for him though, that are going to pay him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the few that have bought him presents or whatever, I guess, but everybody else, no.
Very expensive presents, I would guess.
Speaking of, when does he get his airplane and everything? Is that ever going to come? Or?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Get everything he wants.
Waiting for him to paint it with gold or something. So I figured, well, I was looking around and there's so much about Easter going on that I just said, eeny, meeny, miny, mo this week. And I picked a video about somebody talking about proof of the resurrection.
Brilliant.
Because Christianity is unique, which all religions are, because Jesus is the only one that rose from the dead, which isn't true, because even in the Bible, you've got people raising from the dead, but the Christians hold on to it fast, and that's the source of their religion, is that Jesus came back from the dead, even though I never really understood him come back from the dead, because didn't he go to heaven? And so it's all kind of confusing.
Yeah.
He hung around here for a while, I guess.
So I was thinking about this, and if there had been a popular book in Rome where Julius Caesar came back from the dead 3 days after he died, was assassinated, and he only appeared to a handful of his friends, and they put that in the book. And then that book was so popular that they kept printing it everywhere, and it eventually spread across the world. what burden of proof would be required to believe that that part really happened, the assassination, because, you know, he had
Right.
a lot of public viewing that, but then if he appeared to like a handful or 12 of his close friends, they saw him, that would be the equivalent, sort of. So
Hey,
would
Seth,
we
how you doing?
would we believe that Caesar actually rose from the dead 3 days after he died? I don't know.
Yeah, there is a plaque engraved in stone declares him to be a god.
Yeah.
There's several attributes and miracles that he did.
Well, yeah, it could have spread too, where a lot of people would have ended up believing it. You know?
Well, every emperor, of course, was declared a god after Julius. I think Augustus was the first, and Julius was declared by Augustus to be a god.
Yeah, whether they walked around or not doesn't really matter, because so many were proclaimed gods, right? In many religions. So it's not the only unique part was Jesus coming back, but then even when Jesus supposedly came back, people didn't believe it was Jesus. You know, a wink and a nod, that's Jesus, and it's like, oh, okay. You know, they didn't even recognize him or anything, and it's like, surely you would realize it was somebody back from the dead. Like, wow, I saw that person dead. Now they're not dead, but they didn't even realize it was Jesus at first. So that lends a lot of credence to somebody else took his place. So it's very confusing.
I mean, that is a really good point, actually, is because, like, only like a week before, they were all hanging around having the Last Supper.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. So, Jesus was paying for an expensive meal, took them out to dinner. That you would have thought that they'd have remembered the last party they went to. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember that time we all got absolutely slaughtered around the, whatever, you know what I mean? The local pub.
And there's also Doubting Thomas, who refused to believe until they actually reached out and touched him. And that's confusing too. It's like, what do you
make any
have to
sense.
Touch him for? Yeah.
Yeah. If you didn't recognize him, then why would he could have been anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how many people were crucified that weekend?
Yeah.
Just saying, you know.
And you know, even in the Bible, I mean, you've got 3 or 4 people that Jesus rose from the dead. Are they special because he rose them up, or?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's a very special thing. It just seems like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, right?
Yeah, and I kind of always thought, well, were they born of a virgin, though?
Yeah.
You know, maybe you need both to be special.
You know, a fun fact is that Doubting Thomas never really touched Jesus to really prove, to prove what he said he would do. You know, Jesus said, "Hey, touch me," and Thomas went, "Oh, I don't really want to." So, "Oh, my Lord and my God." So that's kind of how that went.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah. He got his bluff called.
Yeah. Oh, he said, "Oh, not again, Jesus. Oh, please, not again."
I thought that was over.
I did cut out the beginning where he prays to Jesus. He sure loves Jesus. Some of the prayers are a little sappy. They get, "Oh, you're so great" and everything, and it's, well, yeah, you're praying to the guy. I mean, isn't that enough? But which is another thing I never understood, is why you have to pray to Jesus or God, or don't they know that they're God? Apparently, they need to be reminded. But this guy really loves him some Jesus, and he does a whole series of things about Jesus, and this one, I say,
when you say this guy, who are you talking about? The guy on screen?
The guy that does the video. I'm gonna pull up the video here.
Oh, okay, good. Because this is from a video, music video, isn't it?
Yeah, that
Anybody tell me what that is? Because
That's the old guy that yells science.
From
He's
the,
he's a
Blinded Me with
psychiatrist or something. Yeah, with
You
Thomas
blinded me with
Dolby.
science.
Thomas Dolby. Thank you.
That's from
Yeah.
the 80s.
Thomas
However-
Dolby goes to the insane asylum, and
When I see this
he's
picture,
welcomed.
when I see this picture, my mind goes straight to Bernie Sanders.
I think he was a guy
that
on
looks like
British
Bernie.
TV that was very similar to Carl Sagan,
Or Bill Nye or something.
except
Hello,
a little
Robin.
more like Bill Nye. Actually, the
Robin's
British Bill
joining
Nye.
Hello.
us.
Hello, Robin.
Hi,
Yes,
Robin.
I was stuck on. I was stuck on screen with Scott over there. So we were doing idealism. I didn't realize what time it was.
You're talking about a different Scott than me?
Yeah, from the mirror point.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was getting confused because I was going, well, it's
I'm
always
sorry,
cool to be on a panel with Robin, but I don't remember that.
Yeah,
One of your
mirror,
personalities.
Scott from the mirror point. I made him on y'all's Mike's channel.
We
Okay.
enjoy having you, so I dropped you a link just in case.
Thank you, Dave.
There's no commitment involved. I mean, if you got something else going on, you got something else going on.
Well, I hadn't get to see you much at all, and I thought maybe I didn't know if y'all were hiding eggs over here, what you were doing. So
We're
We're talking about eggs.
We were trying to figure out how all that's related earlier.
So
Yeah, I did try to incubate mine, so I put it on the radiator, but it just made a hell of a mess.
I will tell you, it's fertility. It's fertility. Like this weekend, back in the time of pagan worship and stuff, where they would do a lot of animate, like magic, or they worshiped, for nature. Fertility was a big thing, and that's where the eggs are seen as fertility, and the rabbits, of course. That's why you always checked rabbits to see how if you were pregnant. They used to have to use rabbits, and
Right.
Yeah.
so it's all
I think
fertility. It's all
I think the name of the hair. I'm just going to look it up. How do you pronounce it though? Osterhaus.
yes, and there used to be
Okay.
Ostera.
Appears in.
Ostera is actually a pagan.
Hang on.
Everybody's
Yeah.
supposed to get busy in
Hang
the
on,
spring,
hang
or
on.
what?
Appears in 1678, recorded in some Latin thing about Easter eggs by the physician George Franks von Frankenau, southwest Germany. The tradition, however, largely remained unknown in other German regions until the 18th century. So it's quite late on, really, 1678.
Yeah,
Hi,
well,
Chris,
I
how you
know.
doing?
But those the eggs have always been like a sign of fertility. But like the word Ostera came out of what you're talking about there, Germany and stuff.
Oh, why the see? But then you get the rabbits and the chickens, because the rabbits don't have eggs. But you want to use
but
the
the
eggs
rabbits
for
are-
fertility.
Yeah, rabbits are still seen as fertility things. That's how you used to check to see if you were pregnant. Was through you had to
Right.
remember you injected it into the rabbit, and if the rabbit died, you were pregnant.
Oh, this
Very
is interesting.
confusing.
This
Very
is interesting.
confusing.
Osterhaste is the literal translation is Easter hare, created German folklore origin for the 16th century, German Lutherans, and an egg-laying hare that leaves a basket of coloured eggs and sweets in gardens for well-behaved children.
yeah, it
What
was
are
a
the-
German.
What
It
are
was
the
a
not so
German thing.
well-behaved kids get? Rotten eggs?
Yeah.
I
Well,
got
I mean,
thrown out-
I guess it's like Father Christmas, right? It's a
Yeah.
way of bribing your children.
I got
Obviously,
thrown
Jim-
out of first grade for insisting that bunnies laid eggs because I didn't believe my parents would lie to me.
Yeah. Hello, Demon Orb. How you doing?
I can just imagine that, Mike.
Yeah,
Yep.
They
Okay.
went from Jesus to chocolate to rabbits to bunnies to, just to
When I was a-
confuse you.
When I was a kid,
Keep you
they were
confused.
they were actual eggs, and we used to paint them. It's one
Right.
of the
Yeah.
things
We used
do
to
in
color-
school.
well, we used to dye them. So
Dye
we had
them.
that
Yeah.
food coloring.
Well, we can't possibly afford real eggs now.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got to make
So-
sure you find them all too, because you don't want to leave ones laying around hidden somewhere. So your
Before-
parents
Like
better make
Jesus,
sure they count them.
Jesus is as lost as last year's Easter eggs.
Yeah, I used to hard boil them, take them to school, and dye them.
Before we get started
Yeah.
with the video, there's something I could never get over. So the average temperature in Jerusalem around the time of Easter was 60 degrees Fahrenheit, or what is that, 20 centigrade or something? And over 3 days, Jesus's abdomen would have been bloated and gassy, and it would have been green, and he would have started to stink kind of bad.
Oh,
And
yeah.
did they mention that in the Bible at all when he first came out? I mean,
Well, that's why they bring the anointing to douse him
anointing.
with all the perfumes and everything. So he
Well,
doesn't.
when Jesus was was dealing with Lazarus, a few weeks or a few days, I'm not quite sure on that timeline. Before, Lazarus had died, they put him away in his tomb, and Jesus was going to go raise Lazarus, but the sister, I guess Mary, said, "Oh, but wait, Lord, you can't do that, because by now he stinketh." And
too
so
stinky. Yeah.
they at least recognize that after a few days they get stinky.
So that was actually in the Bible?
Yeah, that was in the Gospel of John. It was the account of Jesus raising Lazarus. And
Well-
I learned watching these videos, and it might be in this video, that the reason for the 3 days was you don't stink until the third day. So, but
Yeah,
I
does Jesus
was
stink?
always told that you started to stink pretty quickly. So
But
Yeah.
no, they stuff you with herbs and shit, don't they, to make
Yeah.
it smell nice.
what I had always been taught was that there was, the common folk, the folk beliefs about the spirit inside of a person is that their spirit would kind of float around over the graveyard, for about 3 days, and then decide to leave the body. So they waited for 3 days to make sure
Good.
that they were really, really, truly dead.
Yes,
Because
and they
it-
put a
yeah.
bell, and they would actually put sometimes hook up a thing that went to a bell inside of their casket, so that if they were to come
Yeah.
to, they would have a string in there, and they could pull that bell and ring it, and they would know to dig them up.
Yeah, because I think they
Right.
had they had an accident one time, and they never got over it.
I
But
think
that explains why the spirit hovers around the body for 3 days, and when the body starts to stink, it takes off. That
But I
makes
don't
sense.
think that
I
the
don't-
Jewish people had that belief. I don't think they had a spirit.
Well, no, that's what. Remember, there's what you can gather from the Bible or from the priest or whatever, but then there's the common folk belief. The everyday person. You go talk to them over the fence. They're talking about somebody's spirit leaving their body and what happens in 3 days. There's all sorts of every little
Yeah,
society, no matter what the bigwigs say, have their own folk beliefs about the spirits and things
Yeah,
like that.
but I think Jesus was a special case because they couldn't give him the normal funerary routine, right? Because of he died on a particular day, the day before the Sabbath, or he's crucified, and then so they couldn't go and do it on the Sabbath because they're not allowed to do it, and then they couldn't do it on the other day because it was Passover. I don't know what shit I'm talking about.
yeah, they sure
the first
rushed
day-
it, didn't they?
The first day they could get to him was on the third day after.
Yeah. How you
Right,
doing,
so
Philbert?
that's when the women went there to do the last funerary rites of stuffing him with herbs and shit.
Mhm.
Found that
Poor
the
Herb.
tomb
Mhm.
or herb, yeah, whatever. Well, I don't know the details, but it says something like that in the Bible. That's
Yeah.
the reason that he was, well, that's part of the folklore, right? As to why he could get raised bodily is because they
Well,
hadn't done these last.
before they had embalming and stuff, yeah, that's what they did. They doused you with all kind of herbs and perfumes and anything
That's
to get
right.
over the smell. Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
oil.
Scott-
right? Obviously, they
Scott.
had oils, right? Olive oil.
Scott, why did he come back? What did he accomplish by coming back? What was the point of that? Did he have something he forgot to say at the dinner? Huh?
I
Well,
guess it's to prove who he was the
yeah,
only real reason.
he basically walked. He taught the disciples. He spoke with them further and said, "See, I was right," and I guess gave them secret, knowledge that nobody else possessed or whatever. And
so they didn't believe him.
He commissioned his church, at the end to go into all nations and preach the gospel, which is why we have TV preachers today.
Yeah.
So they didn't believe him when he turned water into wine?
There's one other thing as well, which is he went down to hell to retrieve those that had not been able to be saved by him. So all of the earlier,
and that's confusing too. The Jews don't need Jesus, but they need Jesus. So whatever.
Open the gates.
The
of
Jews
hell
don't
or whatever.
come back until everybody's raised up, but Jesus went to bring some of them back, and just very confusing.
All of the righteous people from before.
Just remember that Jesus gave up almost the whole weekend for our sins, kinda.
The whole
sort
weekend,
of, yeah. Well, let's see what our commentator has to say here about it.
Yeah,
I have a very open mind.
I'm looking forward to the commentator's
like
word.
I say, I edited the prayer, so forgive me, but I usually do that. Otherwise,
we don't need that.
The video is in the video name is in the description if you want to listen to the prayer. So, oops, we don't want that one.
Yeah, we kind of do.
Not till the end. Not till the end.
So there's two questions I want to bring to the table today. First, has anyone conquered death? Do you know of anybody who has, been able to surpass death? Maybe it was
Yes, there are several people in the Bible, and as we were talking about, most rulers were considered to be gods, and they're somehow alive, but we'll grant you that Jesus walked around. That's what we were talking about, even though people didn't believe it was actually Jesus. So
okay, and we are keeping a very close eye on Chuck Norris.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. That's true.
Near-death experience.
I'm guessing Elvis would be another example.
And when Trump goes, we will definitely be keeping an eye on him.
People still see Elvis, so you don't know. I mean,
you don't know. Any one of them could be the Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you didn't recognize Jesus, right? And although these guys look similar, they could be the real Elvis, right? You just don't know.
I think
tons of mice says Mel Brooks.
Yeah,
he's doing a movie at 100. So yeah.
Cool. I think Keith Richards has defeated death, and maybe Willie Nelson.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, definitely Keith Richards. But also, how many? There's several people that have got resurrected in the Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, just saying.
Actually conquering death.
Didn't Noah have everlasting life granted to him?
Well, there's certain ones that were seen up on the mountaintop or something that were brought back, or they're forevermore or something. Or
does it say in the Bible that Noah was granted everlasting life for doing humanity this?
No, well, maybe granted everlasting life, but that I don't think that means he was raised from the dead. But
it means he didn't die though, right?
That was Enoch and Elijah. In the Bible, they walked with it was Elijah or maybe Enoch that walked with God and then was no more, for God took him. And then there was the one where I think Elijah maybe was taken away in a chariot into the heavens and threw down his tunic or whatever to his mantle to his intern, I guess, Elisha. And there was a child that was brought back from the dead by one of those two. I think it was Elisha, where he laid down prostrate on top of his dead body. It almost like it was just kind of weird, and then he came back to life. So there, it depends on what you call a resurrection. A lot of preachers and folks will make a difference. Like if it's somebody that was raised from the dead after having been killed, but they were going to die again anyway, then that's what resuscitation. But what happened to Jesus was a resurrection. But what's the difference? I don't know. Lazarus, we talked about, he was raised. And then there was supposedly a bunch of quote unquote saints that when Jesus, I think it was when he died at the crucifixion, the graves were open.
Yeah, you got zombies walk around.
The zombie thing. Well, that's a resurrection,
And didn't let's see, Caesar? He didn't really resurrect. He just kind of ascended into heaven, right? But
Yeah,
I think Nero came back like 9 times. Like
Yeah,
they thought,
yeah.
like there was about 9 different resurrection stories.
There
About
were
Nero.
lots of legends and stories about different leaders or who had been granted some sort of divine status coming back from the dead as
We
well.
will have to post a century at Trump's grave, yes, to make sure he does not come or walking up out there whenever he goes.
I'm pretty sure there is also I think Romanian god that died and then was resurrected 3 days later.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be an original story. It was just a borrowed another, like you were saying, Simos, something else they borrowed.
Yeah, I'm not sure which was borrowed from which. I'm going to look it up now.
They had some popular tropes.
One way or another, though, that's something that the Christians hold on to above everybody else, that we have an empty tomb and you don't. So-and-so is still in their tomb. And
that's my favorite piece of evidence right there for the resurrection, the empty tomb. Like, I love that. I love it.
It was Romanian or ancient.
Where is that? Do they have that
Uh,
empty tomb in a church or a museum somewhere?
Let me just.
There's 2 or 3 of them actually in Jerusalem.
yeah, there's several empty tombs.
There's lots of empty tombs because
Tons of Mice has excavated a text from the 1st century of one of the witness to the uprising. I think this historical document will be very important.
He says, "Dear Mom, Jerusalem is nice, good weather. Had a zombie uprising after a crucifixion today. Saw Uncle Bob. He looks good for a dead guy. We had lunch. I had the soup and Bob had the brains. Love, Sonny."
Okay, so here we go. Let me just give you some details on this, if I may.
Good.
Ancient Romarian Dacian beliefs. They had a religion centered around a deity called Zamoxis, who is 5th century BCE, and the deity of prophet of immortality. These primary sources Herodotus. But the followers would truly die, but would go to him after death. Not a resurrected God in the sense of dying and coming back to life. It's more about afterlife and spiritual continuation, not rebirth on here.
Ed says Mithra was resurrected as well.
Yes, Mithra. Yeah, Mithra. Actually, I think Mithra had the same birthday too as December 25th. Ed probably knows that too. I wanted to ask Tons of Mice what his 3rd wife was doing when he was eating with the dead guy.
Third wife, let me tell you.
Is that what that's got mistaken? Wasn't 3 days later. It was just 3 wives later, which is equivalent to 3 days later in some people's eyes.
Well, no matter how you make Christianity unique, of course it's unique. That's why it's Christianity, and it's not
it's got a different
something
name.
else.
It's got a different name.
Every religion is unique, but yes, it does. It does have a story about Jesus being resurrected. I don't know if that makes it unique because they're all unique. But you know, that's what they hold on to. And I'm sure we've all heard the empty tomb as a holding above others. Oh, so and so still in their tomb. Buddha's still in his tomb, and Muhammad's still in his tomb, and all this. And it's like, well, you know, that's kind of where dead people go.
Ed said I was right about Mithras' birthday, and there's one more piece of the puzzle for Mithras. And Ed can remind me if I remember this correctly. He was also born to a virgin, Mithras, I think. His birthday was December 25th. He was resurrected, and he was born to a virgin, I think. I think he had those three common things with Jesus.
So Mithras was... Oh, no, that was the other one. Okay. The Mithras was the bull worshipping cult, yeah? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lots
Something
of blood.
like that. Well, we got two things here. Two is that
About, is there victory available for me? And that's what the
now. See, here's the thing: are you going to conquer death too? Well, everybody's going to conquer death that believes in Jesus. So that again doesn't make Jesus special. So we're trying to still stuck at why was Jesus special? Just because they picked him out as special when he wasn't the only one, and he isn't the only one, and he's not going to be the only one. So I don't know. I guess as long as he makes him special.
the lesson kind of points us into understanding the reality of who Jesus was, which we studied last week, and then how does him resurrecting do anything for me? What's the meaning behind the resurrection, and can I benefit from that?
Now, see, there you go. There's the big thing. Supposedly, Jesus went to the cross to do away with sin, but he didn't do away with sin. There's still sin.
How many views did he get on this video to see exactly how he benefited from this?
Well, yeah, it's the big story that Jesus died for us and everything, and but it doesn't seem like he did anything for anybody, because you still have to believe in Jesus and all these things, and sin didn't go anywhere. There's still sin.
Interesting.
No, but I'm wondering, he made about 1 cent on this video, so that's how much Jesus benefited him.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's got 111 views. So
Christianity stands or falls on one event, and that event is the resurrection of Jesus. If he did not rise, Christianity would collapse. If he did rise, that changes.
There you go.
No, I think you'll find actually the event is the second coming. That's the one that it hangs on, not whether he rose or not.
Yeah, if he comes back and everybody sees it instead of just a couple of people
and the rapture happens, right? All of a sudden, like loads of people suddenly disappear, and they all happen to be Christians.
Ryan Murphy's been a member for 9 months. Oh, Ryan, thank you very much for all your supporting the channel.
We love toast. We love toast. We love toast. We love toast. We love toast.
I haven't been
have some yummy
capable of a
toast.
second coming for about 50 years now. So
Yeah, that's the thing. The second coming would be a big thing, because everybody would see it, right? He comes in on the clouds, and there's the big war and everything, and everybody knows about it, versus just a handful of people that are mostly unnamed. So Simos makes a good point.
Is everything. We know that the man existed, Jesus Christ. There is so much.
Do we though?
We know, yeah.
Do we?
pretty weak.
I mean, it's probably, I guess, probably.
I'll grant it for argument's sake, but
I mean, I'll go further than that, Dave. I'll say probably somebody called Jesus existed. You know, although not spelt with a J, obviously.
Right.
You know,
there was no J.
There was no J then in the English language, so.
That's another confusing thing is, and he will be named Elijah, right?
Yeah. An amazing amount
So
of J's.
let's name him Jesus. Okay.
Jehovah.
Yeah. But not with a J.
But with a J.
He'll also be named Emmanuel, although nobody ever called him Emmanuel except, well, nobody did.
Oh,
They
it's
just
in
wrote
a
a song about Emmanuel.
no, it's in a song, isn't it? It's in a hymn.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to sing that in the fucking a good tune actually, and there's a lovely little solo in it which I got to sing.
Well, if it didn't confuse you, it just didn't confuse you, I guess. So much confusion.
Yeah.
Evidence to prove that he existed. Now we go into deeper waters to understand if he indeed was resurrected, or was he, was his body stolen? There's a lot of hypotheses, and we're going to be covering those in this lesson.
Well, then you're going to get to the whole problem of why was he taken down? Why wasn't he left up? Lots of questions there too. So the whole story is riddled with questions. It doesn't answer anything, but whatever helps you sleep at night, I guess. Well, anyway, we're going to go to why the resurrection is unique. When we've already said that it isn't unique, but he's going to make it unique. So this is what I want to know.
So why is the resurrection unique? Good question. Yeah. Many religious leaders died, right? We see this with Buddha.
All of them died.
Yeah.
I mean, many is a loose terminology. Everybody dies, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, like Buddha didn't die. That's for sure, right? He found whatever they call it.
Well, he was at
what do they call it?
Nirvana. He was at Nirvana. Yeah.
He went to Nirvana. He didn't die. Muhammad. Oh yeah, Muhammad did die. That's true. He went to heaven first and then came back to die.
Right. He rode a winged horse or something, didn't he? Yeah.
And Confucius definitely died. I don't know that.
Well, Buddha just simply laid down and continued. He didn't. He was at peace. He had reached nirvana. There was nothing else to do in this life, so he just laid down and continued on. But
yeah,
that's my thing. And I wanna be at peace like Buddha was. Images of Buddha is that he had completed everything in life, and that there was no reason to be sad or anything else. He just laid down.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's physically conquering death.
Yeah,
was the idea. I mean, famously, he came about his views about earthly suffering came about through trying to be as aesthetic as possible. So sat beneath a banyan tree, I think it was, or something like that, and ate 1 grain of rice a day. Almost died, and then worked out that that was pretty pointless. So that's when he worked out that life was suffering. All I've got to do is not suffer, and then I have eternal life and can reach nirvana. That's when he just lost all idea of being in contact with his body.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like Obama, where he brushes it off his shoulder, right? Don't worry about it. Everybody deals with it, and when you can accept that, you've really reached nirvana. When you don't have to worry about anything, or anybody else has to worry about anything, because it's just the way things are.
Well, that's the similarity, isn't it? He rejected his body.
Right.
That's basically what Jesus did,
Hello, Austin. How you doing?
I also think that's why the Christians really hang on so hard to the bodily resurrection.
Yeah.
They can't accept that it's a spiritual, even though he was never seen, right? I mean, nobody, as you say, touched him. So nobody knew he was actually not a hallucination, or, the only first-hand sighting we've got, right, is Paul, and he didn't appear bodily to Paul at all. So
There's another wink and a nod.
well, yeah, I think it was a light, and nobody else could hear him in his party. Nobody could see him in his party. Only Paul heard him. And how he knew it was Jesus from that, I've got no fucking idea, because he never met him.
Yeah.
So
Hello, Vesta. How you doing?
that doesn't even make sense either. Hello, Austin. Hey.
How's it going, y'all?
Hi,
Oh,
Austin.
I thought we had a plane going overhead. It's a downpour we've got going on here. Can't even hardly see across the street.
Yesterday we had a thunderstorm, like a major, really powerful thunderstorm.
We had one the other night. The dog was going crazy. The whole house was lighting up. The security cameras were lighting up.
That ain't
April
normal.
Showers, right?
That ain't normal for Minnesota. Thunderstorms, not normal.
Well, it's
we
good for the
had
grass.
a chance of rain, but that's quite a chance when it comes down in buckets.
Good for the grass, as we say in this part of the world.
Yeah, it washes away all the winter mess and gives rise to the sprouts that are going to be popping out and everything. It's awful loud though. Came down all at once. I thought it was something coming in at the airport, something big. Anyway,
I never
how you doing,
forget.
Austin? Good to see
Before
you.
Before you do, I'll never forget.
Great to see you, Dave.
When we were touring through America, my father driving, there was one exception when my mother said to my father, "Look, you've been driving for so long now. He'd done 8,000 miles by this point or something, all at 55, I have to add." And so my mum said, "Look, I'll drive." And we were in, I think, South Dakota, somewhere like that. And Mum started driving, and we were going up to a place called Black Hills. Yeah, Black Hills in South Dakota it was. And we were driving there. And as we started driving, we could see the hills getting closer. We went, "Oh, look, there's lots of like clouds over this bit that rises up a little bit, you know." That's interesting. As we were getting closer and closer to it, and a couple of hours later, we found out why it was called the Black Hills. It's because it was covered with these dark clouds, which absolutely pissed down to the point my mum couldn't see more than 10 feet ahead. Pulled the car over and went, "Brian,
Hey,
you're gonna have to drive."
That's where Mount Rushmore is.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's where Mount Rushmore is. And I went to see Mount Rushmore one time in my truck, and out from behind Mount Rushmore came this really black, ominous looking cloud, and I took off running. That's how bad it looked. And by the time I got in my truck, hail had started hitting every vehicle, and it busted out the windshield of every car in that parking lot, which my truck had, like windshield that was like straight up and down. And so it didn't break my windshield, my big truck, but it broke out the windshield of every car in the parking lot. Hail did, and
it was terrifying.
Yeah, that's where
it was terrifying. I've got to tell you,
that's where Sturgis Playground is too.
That was a foreshadowing of Trump's image forming on the Black Hills on Mount Rushmore.
Oh my gosh, they should put if they're going to put his face on there, it should be on the back side of Mount Rushmore.
They should just put his ass on there.
His backside on, yeah.
Yeah, you can't tell the difference. That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, fantastic place. Recommend everybody go and see Mount Rushmore. And the Black Hills, the caves especially, the Rushmore caves are.
I've never been, but I live right next door, but I've never been. I got married pretty close to those Black Hills. Never saw them.
These caves are absolutely stunning. The stalagmites and stalactites, they are massive. And they're really, really a sight to see.
Yeah.
as well as what it is Old Faithful as well. That's quite an amazing site. Although
Oh,
apparently
Yellowstone. You went to
Yeah.
Yellowstone? Okay.
Yeah. Well, on the way there, I think.
Went there when I was 13.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's absolutely massive then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's got a lot less strength now.
Yeah. Yeah. It was real back then.
Anyway, there you go. Just a thing. Yeah, absolutely pissed down for fucking ages. We got to our campsite. It was still raining. The next day, I woke up and it was a beautiful day.
That's how it goes. You downpour 1 minute and then beautiful the next.
Yeah, gorgeous it was as well. Oh my goodness, lovely and green everywhere. America, what a country!
What a place to be.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Utah, fucking wow, blew me away.
So we're gonna find out why the resurrection is unique. Okay, here we go.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
died.
Jesus.
You see how
right.
Muhammad died, Confucius died. There's a lot of teachings that they had that still continue even today.
Right.
But none of them claim to be physically conquering death. They use death to get to some other place, but they don't actually conquer death. And as we just
Now, see, they went someplace when they died.
What does that mean? What does that even fucking mean, though?
Yeah.
They conquered death. Well, I think you find they did. I mean, they literally
Right.
all have an afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
it's not so unique when you break it down that way.
yeah, when you're not quite so specific on what your definition of conquer is, which I notice you're not giving here.
When you don't love you some Jesus.
And you're not special pleading that Jesus conquered death in a way that nobody else did.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not one of these people anymore. So much of their mental capital is dedicated to worrying about death. It's such a trifling minority of my mental capital for me. I just hope it's peaceful, and that's it. And I realize beyond that, I have no ability to control it. So it's just
with
it's
the
sad.
doctor giving me a bad diagnosis, I faced the Reaper, and there's no clear answer. You can be sad about it, or you can just accept it. I mean, that's just the way it is. And when you realize that everybody's going to go, and like you said, you hope that it's peaceful and not traumatic or anything. That's about as all you can ask for, because you are going to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whether it's in an ambulance ride, or whether it's you don't wake up in the morning, anywhere in between. I've been in the emergency room enough to hear people screaming and everything, and there's a friend of mine whose mother went to bed, and she didn't wake up in the morning. Friend of mine too.
Yeah.
His son didn't wake up in the morning. They're gonna go kick him in the ass. Hey, time to get up, man. And he just didn't wake up. So
there it is. I mean,
that's
also
what it is.
The sooner you accept that, right, then the more tools you have in life to deal with it when you are alive. So it makes everything that much easier later on. But I just want to remind you.
If I don't wake up tomorrow, or if I have to call 911, it doesn't really make much difference, does it?
Yeah, I just want to remind you of some Stoic words. I guess Epicurus said, "When we exist, death does not, and when death exists, we are not."
Right.
So,
pick one.
Yeah. Why be worried? If death exists, then you're not. So.
Yeah. And you were not around for a long time, and the world went on just fine. Life went on just fine without you. So, are you really that important, or is it that important to you? Only while you're here, and after you're gone, everybody else is just going to continue on with their thing. They're going to wake up, they're going to have breakfast, they're going to go to work and school and send their kids off, and next generation, like Mike talks so much, about. It's very selfish to not have time for the next generation. You know, they deserve their time in the sun too. Hello, Dade, how you doing? Everybody gets their chance to have their time in the sun, and that's just the way it is. You really need to accept it.
Read in Psalms chapter 16 verse 10, nor will you allow your Holy One to undergo decay. It's clearly referencing that God would not allow the Holy One to decay, to die, and then decompose.
See, that's
why he didn't
where the 3 days comes in. Yeah,
he didn't stink.
You don't
However,
actually start to break down, but don't you start to break down the minute you die? I mean,
yep.
As soon as the cells are without oxygen,
things
start to break down, right?
Before in Jesus' case, because he was crucified. But also to say that if he didn't decay, that means he still has all of his wounds, right? So a nail through his feet, a hole in his side where they pierced his lungs, and
everything's continuing, right? Your brain and everything else is continuing on if it's not
and
without oxygen.
Those that die of asphyxiation, I think, get hard-ons as well. So presumably, he resurrected with a hard-on.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends. Not in his case, presumably, because God was generous in that department. So I'm guessing. But he never used it, right? He never used it. So who knows? Never married. He was never married, right? So he never committed a sin. So presumably he died a virgin, or as we like to call them, incels these days.
So as we see that there are so many other religious leaders who did pass away, we only see that Jesus, he not only dies, but he does come back again. He comes.
Now, wait a minute. Jesus died, but then he came back. So he did die.
He did die. We've got that. But he said conquer death means to come back, right? Whereas these other leaders didn't.
Death. Right.
But I would argue that he was just passing through. Right? He went to hell to open the gates of hell for the ancient prophets, etc., to get them out, because obviously they didn't know about Jesus. Fuck me, God's so lazy, isn't he? God could have just gone, oh, by the way, now you're dead.
Confused.
I'm not going to send you to hell because there's this guy called Jesus, which is me, and you believe in me already. So therefore, that just doesn't make fucking sense anyway. But anyway, so Jesus just went to hell first, and then was just passing through, and he thought, oh, I know, I'll stop and see some of my old mates on the way back, I mean, anybody would do that, wouldn't you? I mean, if you it's like going back to the old, where you went to school or something.
Sure.
You go, oh, so-and-so still lives at such and such a place, does it? Oh, I'll just drop in and say hi.
Hey, how you doing, man? Yeah.
I'm just on my way. Yeah, I can't stay long, but,
Just wanted to tell you, don't worry, you'll be able to do this someday too. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll be back very shortly. Before you all die, I'll see you again. And then disappeared and was never seen of again.
By the way, that guy uses Psalm 16:10 to talk about how you won't let your Holy One go to the pit or see decay or whatever. The Jews never use that as a messianic prophecy. It's a Davidic psalm, and it's basically saying, hey, if I'm good, you're going to be faithful to me and not let me die. And that's all that passage is about. But these apologists like to take things, and Acts did this. In the book of Acts, they kind of rewrote that and said it predicted Jesus. They kind of, what's that called, where you retrofit it? They retrofit that passage into the book of Acts as a messianic prophecy, but it never was. If you just took that at its plain language and in its context, you would never think that mentioned the the coming Messiah.
The second coming, you mean?
Yeah, I guess you could call it the second coming, but see that would be a Christian thing. I'm talking about the question of, did the Jews see that passage as a messianic prophecy? And the answer is no.
Well,
Whether it be the first coming or the second coming or the first and a half coming, it's just, you know.
But I think they probably rejected all of the gospel, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, because all they did was they said, I want a story about Jesus to say this. So they go and look in the Old Testament. Oh, here's something David said. We can turn that into, a prediction about Jesus, and that's what happened. They retrofit things.
Oh, of course, yeah. Especially when they change language right into the Greek. Easy to do then.
Like Dade says, they're obsessed with Jesus coming first.
Yeah.
When is he going to come?
Every time I talk to a born again Christian, the first thing I ask them is, have you had Jesus inside you?
Yeah, or upon you, or
Jesus came in my heart.
Yeah,
or all over your face. Don't get in my hair and
wherever you like. And it was like a horse.
It was like a horse. That's right. Missions like a horse. Oh my!
Fuck me.
Back to life. Jesus was resurrected, and the claim is not symbolic; it is historical, and we're going to be covering that now.
And now it's historical.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it fucking is.
How did he get there? The historical?
Well, he's going to say the usual, isn't he? Like the 5 facts or however many facts he can be bothered to come up with. So, it's written in the fucking, New Testament. Paul says there were 500 witnesses, at least 512 or whatever. So, that makes it factual, right? Why would Paul lie? Paul is not a liar.
Yeah, why? Why would he
also, he's one of, Luke, right? It's written in Luke, and Luke was a historian. One of the best historians of his day.
Now, you see, in John chapter 20, we have this scene. I'm just going to open up scripture here. I'm just going to read a few verses. I'm going to read till verse 4. Let's go. Now, on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb early, while it was still dark, and saw the stone already removed, right, from the groove against the entrance of the tomb. And this is, of course, making a clear reference to Matthew 28, Mark 16, and Luke 24. So she ran and went to Simon Peter, this is verse 2, and the other disciple, John, whom Jesus loved, esteemed, and said,
I thought Jesus loved everybody.
to them, they have taken away the Lord out of the tomb, and now we do not know where they have laid him. Verse 3, so Peter and the other disciple left, and they were going to the tomb.
Can we just stop there, right? Because I think it's in Mark, isn't it? Which is the first gospel, where they go to the tomb, find Jesus' body missing, and then run away and say, and it says that they don't tell anybody. So that directly contradicts Mark. I think I'm pretty sure it's Mark. I need the rabid rabbi to tell us. Where are you? You're in there somewhere. I know you're here.
Hello, Claude. How you doing?
Yeah. If you could just, Mark ends with the women. Oh yeah, here we go. Mark ends with the turning and running away in fear because they were afraid. Yeah, and told no one. Thank you, Dade. Yes, I thought there was something in there to that line, and it is Mark. So, yeah. So, again, cherry picking, much, and we're in John, right, which is the last gospel, non-canonical, right, because it disagrees so much with the other 3. Or rather, it doesn't line up with the other 3. Let's not say disagree.
Well, yeah, that's another problem if they don't agree.
Yeah.
For
When he says
and
historical, I think that's slightly overplaying the word historical.
Now this part here I don't understand.
Two were running together, and the other disciple outran Peter and arrived at the tomb first. All right.
Yeah, but then he stops and he waits for the other disciple to come and poke his head in. So it doesn't really matter how fast he ran. He could have not outran him. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Just showing off, wasn't he? I think Peter only had one sandal, according to Life of Brian.
Ah, okay, well, that explains. Stepped on something, and yeah.
And that's historical, because that was 1979.
We can check that.
Yeah.
Right, and we see in verse 5, he says, swooping down and looking in, he saw linen wrappings neatly laying there, but did not go in. All right, so let's just stop here. We see how Mary Magdalene, she goes early in the morning. We see how she's weeping. We see how it's still dark outside. Mm-hmm. And there is no expectation for a resurrection. She wasn't expecting Jesus to come back from the death. She was there to anoint the corpse. And this is part of Jewish customs. So it's important. The disciples, they were not expecting a miracle. They were there just to attend the body. Actually, it's very common back in the day that.
Yeah. Now, if she was there to attend the body, that also means that she was able to move the stone away, right? So it isn't that much.
She said the stone was already rolled. Well, she said the stone was already rolled away.
No, but I mean, if it hadn't been, she was there to attend the body. So moving the stone away wasn't all that like they make it out to be. That it had. To be,
I see. Yeah.
It had to be Jesus' force or something.
It's just a matter of
all by herself. Yeah, she went all by herself.
Yeah.
So the moving away the stone must have been fairly easy to do if she was going to attend the body.
That's kind of interesting.
Because that's what the women did was attend the body, and of course, depending on the stories, either 1 or 3 or something like that. But with this one, it's just one person.
Yeah, in one story, the angels come down and roll the thing away.
Right.
And so in literally Jesus resurrected through solid stone bodily.
And I think it's
more of
isn't it John where Jesus had to have done it because it was the showing the power or something that Jesus had to have done it, but it doesn't seem like it was all that. Not that it's all that important to the story, I guess, but it does seem to be another discrepancy on how big the stone actually was or how hard it was to move away.
Women went and did the anointing. And so Mary goes out of her way early in the morning. She's walking. And then when she realizes what she thinks happened, right? When she says, they've taken away the Lord out of the tomb. So it's very common for there to have been, tomb robberies. But in this case, that's not what happened. But that's what she thought. We see that in.
Yeah, but why would they steal Jesus's body? I mean, is it for physician things or because he didn't have any valuables or anything?
They didn't have physician things going on back then. They didn't dissect bodies. Besides, why would you dissect a body which has already been beat the shit out of?
Yeah, you can already. Yeah,
I mean, that's not really going to do much medical good, is it?
No.
Why look at these lungs here. Yeah, what did he die of? Well, he could have died of several things: broken legs, suffocation. Oh yeah, suffocation. That's a good one. Yeah. No, I mean, the whole thing doesn't make any sense. It just, you can see it's retrofitted to the story in order to make the story more, and you can see it, the development through the Gospels even, right? And
I don't know
there's
why
no resurrection in Mark.
Your mind,
no resurrection in Mark. Matthew's got a little bit of it. Luke's got a little bit more of it. There's more people there in Luke's. There's Roman guards and shit like that. Like, why would the Romans guard a fucking traitor's tomb? It doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
You know, why would they appoint guards for the body and all those things? And
Yeah.
why would anybody guard a body? Yeah.
For a traitor's tomb, right?
Who wants the body, right? Well, it's to discredit the story. Well, the story didn't come about till afterwards. So, yeah, like you're saying, it's to retrofit the story.
Yeah, and to become more divine. I think that was the word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Every time at the beginning, it's a very, human story. Jesus is a human; he suffers. ... And then later on, they put the resurrection on it to go. Oh, look, he, like all of these other gods, he resurrected. That's what makes him a god. You just take
they
Matthew,
have taken away the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him. So we see that she's worried about Jesus's body. So again, not expecting a miracle. Mary.
And there's another problem. They don't care about the body, right? Because he's already dead and gone. So why is she so worried about where the body is?
The Jewish people would have been worried about the body because they like to bury their dead on the same day. But okay. I've always had a problem with the Romans letting them have the body.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. He died a traitor's death, and part of that death and being a traitor is to display the body on the cross, so they wouldn't cut him down. Number one, and number two, when they did cut him down, they wouldn't let him be buried and have, normal rites.
Yeah, and they rushed the whole thing anyways to make sure that he was up there and dead before the, not Passover, but.
They just wouldn't cut him down after he died.
Yeah,
they would have left him there as a symbol, like just the same way that, like people in this country when they got hung, drawn, and quartered, their bits of the body were put on spikes on London Bridge.
Yeah.
Right, as a warning to other traitors. That's the traitor's death, right?
Yeah.
Be a
symbol they put you on a
other people thinking about it.
On a display or whatever you want to call it, right there. Yeah.
There's the famous one is there was a slave revolt in Rome, and they crucified like 1,000 slaves, and they left them there for like 3-4 weeks or something until the birds had picked them. So that's the normal. That's the normal thing the Romans did.
That they rushed to the crucifixion and then they rushed to take him down and have him put away, and then he gets a proper burial anyways, which is what they all wanted, was a nice proper burial.
I think that's again later
seem like what they would give him. Yeah,
later accretion, because he couldn't have a resurrection from a ditch. He couldn't have a resurrection if his body was just in plain sight. So they had to try and place the body somewhere where it couldn't be seen. Otherwise, there'd be no resurrection.
Well, then the resurrection too. It's done in private. No, nobody saw it.
Nope.
At least the women or somebody, the guards, somebody should have saw it, but there was no emphasis that it would actually happen because nobody saw it.
If you read the Gospel of Thomas, there was a giant walking, talking cross that was actually in the tomb with him when he resurrected. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Well, again, if some of the other Gospels have it that the tomb was closed when the women got there. So that's, again, I guess, the more plausible resurrection story. If the tomb was open, right, then it's easy to think that a more plausible explanation is that the tomb was robbed because the stone was open, the stone was rolled away. So they go to lengths to say, in other words, in another gospel, can't remember which one, that the stone was still there when they got there, and then the angels came and rolled it away, so they could see that Jesus wasn't in the tomb. And that makes more sense if you're trying to prove a resurrection. So it's John that is already assuming that Jesus had said, "I am God," right? in what is fully divine, which just doesn't make sense when you look at the other Gospels. If he was fully God and knew he was God, then why did he say, Father, why have you forsaken me?
Backing up a bit, who paid for the tomb and the guards? And what the hell evidence do they have that there was a tomb at all?
It's empty.
Yeah.
It's empty, Mike.
What's that?
It's empty.
There's
Supposedly
definitely
Joseph
lots of
had some
tombs.
pull with the locals because he was an aristocrat or something.
But like that's one of my favorite. That's why that's one of my favorite pieces of evidence is the empty tomb. That's the evidence of the tomb. The empty.
Yeah, because there ain't nobody there. Of course.
I know.
Yeah,
And, we
right.
don't even, and, we don't even, and there's like 2 or 3 empty tombs around Jerusalem that are claimed to be it. But like that is just like I don't know. I just become hysterical almost when they're like, well, there's an empty tomb. I'm like, and the empty tomb is evidence of what?
Yeah. Well,
And I
that's
doubt
one of
that-
my favorite. That's one of my favorite counter apologetics when
Yes.
people start talking about that. Is to say, oh, okay, so absence of evidence is evidence.
Yeah. Well,
Now, there's a story-
I sort of
And they
doubt that
they hate that.
showed
Those
the
Christians,
tomb.
they hate that.
There's a
I doubt
story
that
in the
there was a
Gospel of
full
John
tomb.
about how Joseph of Arimathea arranged with the Romans or the governor or maybe the Jewish leaders, somebody, to put Jesus in a new carved out family tomb that belonged to his family. So that's the answer that they came up with when whomever authored the Gospel of John wrote the Gospel of John. It just so happened that that question had been asked so many times that lo and behold, here's the answer to that question.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Scott. What?
Yeah.
His family was wealthy enough to have a tomb.
Yes,
Not Jesus's.
he was part of the Sanhedrin. No, Joseph of Arimathea's family owned the tomb.
Okay.
In Jerusalem or whatever. So anyway, that's the answer to that question. Okay. It's just that that the Joseph of Arimathea, I think that his name stood for something that makes it almost sound like he was a fable, kind of character. What did here? Let me ask.
Another myth.
So what?
Another myth.
Well, I think you're getting like his name means something like provider of tomb or something like that. You know what I mean? One of those. It's just like whatever. Fuck.
Yeah.
Could you make it any more
turtles all the way down?
Yes, it is.
Turtles all the way down, which our flat Earth sits on, while it floats through the ether.
I told you I have debunked
Yeah.
the flat Earth because
Exactly.
my cats would have pushed everything off the edge, so we know the Earth is not flat.
I mean, also, I think that like when you actually look into the claims they're making, when you pull them apart, these are the very same claims, right, that the Jews said at the time. Right? Look, hang on, this doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so,
and it was also just a well-known literary trope of the time, right? It would be like reading a Marvel comic book and seeing that it includes a cameo from a real person. Oh, Barack Obama's in this Spider-Man story. Cool. Like nobody would think that meant that Barack Obama actually fucking met Spider-Man.
yeah.
Maybe somebody in the future, 2,000 years from now, is going to find that Spider-Man comic and think Barack Obama was the only U.S. president who
was a
was
superhero.
friends with the Marvel universe. Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like they pulled Arimathea out of their butts in the Gospels.
I think so.
Or they used the name.
Yeah.
They were quite fond of pulling stuff out of their butts.
Also, I think that the point I want to make is that there is no Jewish writing on this, right? There's no independent source that says, oh yeah, we heard about the Jesus thing, right, and we went to investigate it, And sure, there's empty tombs there, all right, but what are we supposed to do with that?
Yeah,
That doesn't mean anything.
Supposedly they found other bone boxes, like James's bone box and stuff.
Oh my goodness!
What tomb was that in?
The Catholic Church has got like all kinds of relics of stuff that doesn't like no telling what's known of.
No, that was found to be a forgery pretty quickly. That's a modern forgery.
But where's the rest of the family though? If it's a family affair and family tombs, where are the tombs at? You know,
Jesus didn't have any kids.
Yeah, he didn't have any money. His family
but he had a brother. He had a brother.
Yeah, true. But they had a family tomb, presumably in Nazareth or wherever they're from.
Well, I mean, that's who is it? Who is it that says that? It's the what's his name that writes, the old Greek guy that writes later on. It says James is his brother, but like we don't know.
Who said that.
The one that was like a Jewish person, and he was a historian later on that wrote about.
Josephus.
Josephus is the one that wrote about James, I think. But
I don't know whether he says that or not. Actually, I'm not sure he does. I thought Josephus was the only one thing that Josephus said is that there is a group of people going around calling themselves Christians.
Oh, okay.
Who worship somebody who's risen from the dead.
Okay, so maybe it was another one. Okay. But somebody said, but like we don't even know anything about whether Jesus had even lived, but especially if he had any brothers.
But there is no contemporary. There's nothing contemporary on Jesus. Absolutely not. There's another Jesus, isn't there, which does have some contemporary writing.
Yeah,
there's actually no extra biblical evidence for this Arimatheus at all. So he's just in the Gospels or nowhere else. He would have left some mark if he was wealthy, you would think, but I don't know. Maybe not.
They really about fact checking. Any fact checking going on at the time. You know what I mean? They were like, nobody's gonna ever fact check this stuff.
Yeah. Maybe he owned a local used car dealership or something like that. I don't know. That would have given him enough money, right? But I don't know. I'm really doubting this whole story so far. So what else we got?
It is full of holes.
It's full of holes.
Yeah.
He sees that the tomb, the stone, had been already rolled away, and the tomb was empty. And so we see how she reacts to that. She goes running back and she meets Simon Peter and the other disciple John. And so we see how there's an importance to the storyline, what's going on. So she sees the stone that is rolled away. The tomb is empty. And what's her first reaction? They have taken him. So even the followers of Jesus did not initially believe. This is not.
And why did they believe that the body was taken and who took it? Yeah, she has all this in her head already. That's odd too. Because like Simon said, they weren't operating. You know, medieval times they were paying robbers for bodies and stuff so they could do things with them. And in the old days, they robbed a tomb for things that were buried with the person. But neither applies to Jesus. So.
And see, I think that like if they had any inkling that like his followers were going to actually believe that he rose from the dead, that's the only reason why I would think that they would be like watching over the body, was because
that would add to it, right? Not take away from it.
Yeah, because they would be monitoring it more closely, though, somewhat maybe, if they thought that his followers were going to try to use it as a resurrection, because that was a popular trope at the time. But we don't even know if he actually existed or was even somebody they needed to be following around. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
well, maybe, yeah, the Jewish Sanhedrin or whatever, whichever ones were against Jesus, might have done that. But likewise, again, there's no historical documents that say anything that they were even slightly concerned about Jesus, right?
And then
So-
there's a whole lot of people who kind of believe that Jesus and John the Baptist were the same. Like, there's that theory too that they were both preachers at the same time or whatever, or maybe there was only one of them. And
yeah, well, there is still a baptism sect that worships John the Baptist, as the resurrection, as the Messiah.
Yes, and I actually know a guy on Proverbs channel, Bruce, that actually thinks that his church, the Baptist church, goes all the way back to John the Baptist.
Yeah, that's a common belief that came up in the South, in the West, in the 19th century, called landmarkism.
Yeah,
where they truly believe they could trace their hair, church by church, go back in history. They say we go all the way back to John the Baptist and his baptism, or some will say just we go all the way back to Jesus.
Well, see, I grew up in Baptist church, but like my church was not nutty enough to say that we went all the way back. Back to John Baptist. But
they proudly put that on their like church sign. See, I converted to Christianity at one of those churches. It was a missionary Baptist church.
That's what I went to, Scott.
Yeah, it was a land. And it proudly put that they were a landmark church, and that's what that meant. They were also premillennial, dispensation. They would put all that stuff up there because they were just so proud of that.
Yep. I don't know about all that, but they did not teach us that we weren't allowed to dance though, because that's how John the Baptist lost his head, supposedly. But I was trying to tell Bruce,
dancing better.
That's. I mean, that's not true. There was nothing because I'm like Protestant, revolution was not at the time of Jesus. So I don't know, but
I remember a documentary from the 70s where they went to interview some of these people that were still worshipping at the Jordan, and giving daily baptisms, right? Themselves, baptizing themselves every day in the name of John the Baptist. So I think it was a real sect right into the modern times.
Yeah, it does. It still has
no doubt about that. I think they're called the Mandeans that trace it all the way back, literally all the way back to John the Baptist, and nobody disputes that.
I don't think they're Christians. So.
No, they're not. They're not Christians. They're more like in between. I guess Judah, a Jewish religion or a
Jewish
Muslim
sect.
religion.
Yeah.
Everybody hates them there, and so that's
they do.
All three of the Abrahamic religions hate them there.
Yeah.
But,
all three of the Abrahamic religions hate each other. There's no doubt.
They're
about
very
it.
small and probably won't be around by the end of the century.
So Arimathea means a high place. So they said basically a rich guy from a high place donated some money to bury Jesus in his tombs, which were because it was like for rich people, right? And there's no evidence. Arimathea, they mention it in the Gospels, and they kind of tied it into a bunch of other things. But basically, they said, this dude from a high place paid for the burial, and he happened to be on the council, so he had some influence with the Romans, so he could get them to bury him. And their best evidence that didn't happen is that nobody on the council would have done that. It would have been, the more likely thing, if this narrative was fiction, is that they would have made up one of Jesus's disciples would have done it. But I think that little idea has a whole lot of fucking holes in it.
Like I'm saying, that if he was crucified, right, and then literally the Romans reserved that for traitors, right, and part of it was that they leave you on the cross as a demonstration of you being a traitor, and then they bury you in an unmarked ditch.
Yeah.
When they take you down.
And he was convicted of high crimes because he was supposedly going against the government. So
he was a traitor, literally going against. He was
and if somebody had come forward and intervened and got him buried according to help his family, he most likely would have just been buried in a grave, not a tomb. So the whole tomb thing fits very badly with their narrative. They should have left that out. It would have been more believable.
Well,
if he rose out of the dirt.
There are ones that say grave that don't say tomb. So that's the line of contention too, whether it was actually a tomb or a grave. So
yep.
Well, like I'm saying, also is that this is the tomb stuff is to show divinity. So that's made up afterwards because that's not in Mark, right? There's the Jesus sayings, the sayings of Jesus don't actually show that he is thinking of himself as God, or at least in the last moment. If you take all of the sayings, right, then he's saying he's not God. Right?
But I'm just being all skeptical here when somebody tells me that, and that's terrible.
Well, why would the Romans crucify him if they didn't think he was a traitor?
Yeah,
I think
doesn't make any sense.
And also, like the Jewish people you talking about, that if you didn't have like a tomb like that right there, where you had then you pretty much got buried in a mass grave outside of town. What was it called? Sheol.
Yeah, I think by default you got buried in the. By default, you got buried in the mass grave. But if you had some sort of influence, on occasion you could, bribe your way into having the body taken down and put in a tomb.
It was supposedly for lesser crimes, though. It wasn't for a major crime.
Well, like you got to understand, it's the Romans that did the execution,
right?
Yeah,
not these things. So there's no way it would go to Sheol anyway, which is like a garbage dump or something, where they would throw dead bodies if they had no money to get themselves buried. The tombs were outside of Jerusalem anyway. Of course they were, because they were tombs.
Yeah,
don't want it stinking up the place. But
like they might would have let them because they tried to keep rebellion down. So like the only thing is, I know that the Jewish people they want to bury their dead that day. That's like, especially on Passover or whatever. But I don't know.
The Romans
Who knows?
I don't think that the Romans give a shit about that kind of thing, right? They're quite happy to build a statue of Caesar in the temple, right? So they don't want rebellions. What are you talking to me? You have to worship. You have to worship. You have to worship the emperor. That's a necessary part of being in the Roman Empire.
Yeah, but they did not want. They did try to keep, like when they went over to a place, they tried to keep the local leaders from like rebellion, and they were having a lot of trouble with the Jewish people, at that time, and they tried to keep stuff so they would that's why when they try to say that they weren't allowed to worship the Christian God, that's bullshit.
They've never, the Roman the Jewish people, they've never stopped them worshiping Yahweh.
Not the Christian God, but like that. We were persecuted. The Romans didn't care how many gods.
Yahweh. They don't care how many, as long as you're worshiping at the statue of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, as long as you're giving your donations or whatever it was, your tributes to their gods or their Caesar. They didn't care how many other gods you had.
No, they don't care about that either. They literally just have to. They literally made it a thing where if you're worshiping, you do it in front of the Roman gods. Whether you worship to them or not is irrelevant. Right? You can have your own gods and worship your own gods. That's fine, but you have to do it in front of the Roman god. That's the point. So they build statues of the emperor, who is the Roman god at the time, in all of the wherever they go, wherever they conquer, they just build up, like a statue of Jupiter or whoever they feel like at the time. After this period of time, of course, it was
Dionysus, maybe.
Yeah, or whatever. It's whoever it was, depending on the time, right? So after Julius Caesar became a god, it tended to be whoever the emperor was, because the god thing got passed down. I think actually, my feeling is that he was only retrospectively made a god after his death, and actually, It was Augustus that was the first god king or god emperor.
Yeah, he didn't
I
die,
don't know
though,
why
right?
I'm saying that. That's just
He
something
went.
I might have
Didn't
read.
he ascend to heaven though? He didn't die, actually, right? Or
No,
was Julius?
they-
Which one didn't die? One of them didn't die. They just ascended to heaven.
I don't know that actually.
Yeah.
No. I mean, Julie. I think they all died.
Well, I know, but the myth is that they didn't die. One of them was killed on the Senate floor, like stabbed.
Yeah,
by-
that was Julius Caesar. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
March or something. The Eyes of March.
Blind faith, and this is important for us because I think many skeptics, many of the people who want to doubt the resurrection, they point to this being, oh, this is just blind faith. All of the people around Jesus just blindly believed. No, we see how, Mary, she's quite taken back. She doesn't understand what happens, so she goes and tells the other disciples. This is confusion, grief, and shock. These are genuine responses to something like this happening.
Well, yeah, the body's missing. I mean, you should be shocked. I would be shocked if I went to a tomb and there wasn't a body there. It's like, what the heck happened? And you go to whoever and you say, hey, something's going on here, right? That's not a surprise.
Well, if the stone was rolled away, my first suspicion.
The big walk and talking cross.
Someone's taken the body. I wouldn't be confused about it. I'd be going, who the fuck took the body?
Right. Yeah, she's all upset.
I would have no fear. I'd have no fear of telling people.
No.
Right? So there'd be no point. Mark's stuff is, what was it, Matthew? I can't remember what Dave said, but.
So it's interesting, right? In verse 5, we see how the linen wrappings, they're neatly lying there. Okay. So this is interesting because this shows character. This shows how Jesus, he is taking care of
he was autistic.
His resurrection, in the sense that
Jesus was autistic, suffered back from really bad OCD.
Is he trying to talk about the shroud now?
Yeah, the linens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I think you're right, Robin.
Goodness.
That's where he's going with this.
I made up some D&D stats for the Shroud of Turin. It's a mundane object, aggressively common rarity, has no magical abilities. It's a piece of fabric.
1300s or something like that.
Right.
It's like the 1300s or something. A little late for Jesus.
Sorry, Robin, go on.
I said it's a little late at that time for Jesus, like 1,300 years late.
And the French artist who faked it admitted they faked it.
Yeah, it's its own mess because they were supposedly linens that wrapped the body, and then to have a nice, neat linen that shows the body all laid out, and it doesn't make any sense either. So the shroud is its own mess. Yeah.
Never mind that you can see the brush strokes.
It's not biblical. It's not biblical. It's not mentioned by the early fathers. It just shows up in history. It's got so many problems to it.
Even most churches will tell you that that's a fraud.
Yeah, we just had that one crazy guy we all know. I'm not gonna say his name, who runs around and pushes it all the time.
There is some interesting points about it. So it's mentioned a lot earlier.
I know more than one of them, Robin, so I'm not sure I know who you're talking about. Are you talking about Toronto Bible Study?
And I'm not saying the other one. The other one's name starts with an O.
Yeah. So there are some interesting.
Is another one.
There are some interesting things about it, right? So it is mentioned earlier in history than the Middle Ages. For number one, it's mentioned in the late Dark Ages. Whether that's the same one as the Middle Ages one, or whether the earlier references were found by someone and they decided to recreate it. And then there's obviously the issue of being a negative, which is easily solved, but nonetheless, I mean,
the face and the other piece don't match up, and it doesn't match the Bible stories. It says linens when they said he was just wrapped in a sheet.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing as well. So the linen is
Yeah.
also potentially from the 1st century.
And my problem's always been that supposedly he was wrapped in a sheet taken down from the cross and carried in it, and yet he's very neat and tidy on the shroud, when a sheet wrapped around a body is nothing but a mess. So
a bloody mess by this point as well.
Bloody mess.
There's one example of a body that had been laid in a tomb in Judah in the 1st century that they were able to excavate, and it had been basically wrapped around the lower part of the body, up through the shoulders and stuff. It was wrapped, literally wrapped with linen, and then the head was wrapped separately, and that's kind of what the Bible described. But and the linen, like a cloth that you kind of sandwich somebody in, like for the Shroud of Turin or other shrouds. That's just not how it was done.
Hello,
hey guys,
man, how you doing?
Hey guys, so Deep State Annex has a video out called "The War is Stupid: Debunking the Christian Nationalist Case for U.S.-Iran War." That sounds interesting. So anyway, we should make note of that. You should actually display that chat so that people will notice it and maybe go watch the video.
Yeah, it was in the chat.
Yep.
I'm doing a video tonight too at 8 o'clock on how to deal with rude people.
Oh.
How to what? Mine kind of roboted on there.
How to deal with rude people.
Oh, okay.
You would kill that. You shoot
How
that.
about get the hell out of my face, rude person? How's that? Is that a good way to do it?
Well, I'm like I say, like I've said before, I'm one of these make the Roman Empire great again. So I would deal with it by crucifixion.
Yes.
There you go. Make Rome great again.
Make the Roman Empire great again. Yeah.
It wasn't a robbery because we see how everything is nicely and neatly organized. And this again shows character. This is personality. So
it doesn't make any sense.
Maybe the robbers had OCD.
He also did 20 sit-ups and 20 push-ups as soon as he got up.
Yeah.
He folded up stuff and then did
Robbers had OCD.
When John enters in, what does he see? He sees linen cloth lying there and the head cloth folded separately. Again, robbers, they don't fold laundry. They don't fold the clothes. So the detail is small, but it is powerful. And it's important for us to comprehend that what we're seeing is how Jesus is showing us hints of himself resurrecting. Okay.
How?
It's not Jesus doing that, mate. You said out of your own mouth it was John that was saying that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So don't give me any of this Jesus folded up the cloths. We know that. John wasn't an eyewitness. He never saw the tomb. Right?
Well,
He's the only one saying that the cloths were folded.
Well, if you believe the stories from the shroud, that he beamed through the shroud and so why is he still in the cave folding the thing up when he beamed through the whole thing?
That's a good one. Right? So in other words, right, he prefers to walk around naked. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Rather than just go, oh look, I've got this shroud, I may as well use this. Or alternatively, if he did resurrect through the stone, if he didn't, he wasn't the one that actually moved the stone in front of his own tomb, then presumably he's not powerful enough to beam the shroud through the stone. He can only do himself, right?
And then he hangs around to fold it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So he can't beam through. He can't beam through cloth, but he can beam through stone.
That's like,
that's the
hey, I'm back
implication.
from the dead. Forget this stupid thing. No, I'm gonna fold it. And I'm gonna lay it
Then
here
he's
real
like,
nice.
I hope like years from now when I come back, they've got all these little torture devices that I was crucified on. Like, I hope they got them everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I tell them all the time that's why he's not coming back yet, because y'all are like you're the torture device that he was crucified on. You've got them like planted all over the place. He probably has trauma.
It points to Jesus. It's all it's part of the symbolism thing that the Bible stories are supposedly filled with, and it's like, but it's just another. So, like Simos was saying earlier, these things are added in,
And the day that he was crucified is called Good Friday.
What a good day!
Yeah, it was the best of days. It was the worst of years and the best of days.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense.
And this is powerful because
I'll just say one thing quickly first, if I may, which is that this reminds me of another scene in the life of Brian, where the guy goes, crucifixion, and he goes, yes, and he goes, right, one cross on the left through the thing up the and the guy kicks next guy next, crucifixion, and he goes, no, freedom. He goes, oh, well done. Saw on the right, and he goes, no, and he's joking.
Chaos outside, everybody is worried, but inside the tomb there is calm. And I think this is also interesting for us to know, whether we're in the worst of storms, whether we're going through motions and situations that puts us just really, 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 really bad, we have Jesus showing us that even though out in the world around us, there could be a lot of trauma. Inside, we can be at peace. We could be calm. We can be organized.
See, there's the symbolism. See, no matter what's going on, you can take the time to fold your bloody rags.
Yeah, but isn't Zen or Buddhism a little more clean, a little more neat than a bloody fucking body?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And gather ourselves.
I mean, if he's talking, hang on a minute. If he's talking about it folding the clothes and being neat, well, why didn't Jesus just go and wash them first before folding them?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Wash them and dry them,
and then
fold them up. You know what I mean? Why not?
Yeah.
He could have done. He could have just walked out, gone down to the River Jordan, gone, oh, here we go. Let me just do a bit of washing. Come back.
I just took it all away. I mean, he's God, right? Just make him clean and.
Oh, okay. You could do that. Just spit on it, and
he just casts prestidigitation. That's a cantrip, You can do
that's
that
easy.
Yeah, exactly.
And just for a little bit of good news, the city of Tyre, which was never destroyed and everything.
Tyre,
They bombed it last week a little bit. They're bombing it again today. So I'm just waiting to see if they're trying to.
What?
Yes.
Oh, the Israelis are doing that, are they?
Yes. See, last week I was like, well, watch them. They'll probably start trying to bomb Tyre because they never destroyed Tyre. And sure enough, the next day they dropped bombs on Tyre, and I saw the day where they're bombing them again. So,
well, they've rebuilt the city elsewhere, so it still doesn't get them out of the prophecy. I can't see the Israelis like bombing Tyre because they don't believe that Armageddon is.
But Tyre wasn't an Armageddon prophecy. It was an Old Testament prophecy. Like it wasn't an Armageddon. It's just one of them that Christians like inserted Jesus into. But it's in Isaiah, I think.
Okay.
Or Elijah one.
Tyre is used as an argument that the Bible or the Old Testament is magic. It's God's word because look, Tyre was predicted to be totally destroyed to where you can't. It's only useful for like spreading your fishing nets on to repair them. And look what happened. Everything got destroyed. Well, no, it didn't. That's the counter apologetic. So
it still exists.
Not for Jesus, but for the Bible as being inspired.
Not one stone
said
on top
something
of
about
the other.
sharing a photo. The one you sent me is on toast. Is that the one you're talking about?
What?
He said something in chat about sharing an email photo, and the one he sent me was about toast.
Oh.
I was just asking if that's the one just now. Let me see.
Toast is on topic.
Oh, wait, just came through. Okay. There it is.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, okay. I can buy that. That's how I got it right on the photo, or right on the cloth.
Yeah, there you go. I remember doing a joke on boiled piss when we were talking about the Shroud of Turin.
Direction did
And I
not
said, "Oh yeah, no,
erase.
I went to Turin, and funnily enough, as I was walking around, I went around the back, and there was this guy selling napkins of Turin, and I'd already pre-prepared a napkin, and it just had a picture of Jesus on the cross with the cross on it. And I went, look, there you go, and it's even got the cross on it.
Oops.
Anyway,
Jesus' character. So the interesting part of this story as well is that it's a inconvenient witness. How so? Who is the first witness? It was Mary. And so formerly demon possessed, we see this in Luke chapter 8 verse.
Yeah, and she was formerly demon possessed, which
Very likely story.
Like even the church will say today, these people are suffering from mental problems, not demons.
Yeah.
The woman with mental problems is they've taken all her words. For all anybody knows, she's the one that took off with the body, if there wasn't even a body, because she has mental problems.
Is it his mother Mary? Is it his mother Mary or Mary Magdalene or what?
Mother Mary Magdalene.
Okay.
So she was demon possessed when? When did that happen?
She was formerly deacon, or I don't know. Are you ever not demon possessed? I don't know. But
so she had.
she was demon possessed.
She had her period, and
yeah, she was out there visiting.
And she had no Tylenol, no Tylenol at that time. So
no,
yeah, I can see that.
And that's the one they listen to. So you see right there, suspect when you're listening to the person who had obvious mental problems and thought that the demons were out to get her.
Right.
But that's who you listen to, and that's who you write a book about. Then that goes back to how many people in the Bible had these demon problems, and then they wrote stories about them. And then you can even throw in, nowadays with our president and how great he is, and how some of the evangelicals say how great he was. And imagine if they were writing the Bible, they would put our orange president in there as a great man who did all these great things, and we should bow down and worship him.
But it's not right.
It just adds to the problems that are in the Bible, if you ask me.
I'd like to point out that the language this guy just used, as Mary being the first witness, right, is
very inconvenient one too.
Is somewhat disingenuous, because in some of the other gospels she's amongst the first, right?
Well, no, but like,
so
also
other people were also the first. So I'm not disputing that Mary wasn't one of the first, right? But he's clearly, again, cherry picking John and saying, oh, look, in John it says she's the only one, therefore she was the first.
Yes,
right?
and she was an inconvenient witness, a demon-possessed woman. Yes. Very inconvenient.
That's pretty inconvenient.
Good plan, God. That's how, like, we know that you were serious about getting this story, like, around the world.
In print, yeah.
Well, I think Jesus had a relationship with with Satan, didn't he, or the devil, or whoever you want to call it. I mean, wasn't it just before all this happened in Lent that Jesus was tested by the devil?
Yeah, he tried to tempt him in the desert and stuff.
So he spent more time with the devil than he did with the disciples before he died, for sure.
Yeah.
So, and what's not to like about the devil in under these circumstances, right?
Well, he didn't help Jesus either. Like nobody.
But he offered him a load of shit. Look, here's some water. Got some food for you. Do you want to have a party? I've got some prostitutes. Come on, let's get it on. Smoke some fucking weed. Come on, boy. Let's go.
And Jesus said, no, I like men.
He said, no. I'm sure that would have been offered.
Just sit right back and you'll hear the tale of a righteous float. that started out in ancient times upon a magic zoo boat. The rain began to pour like mad. God's judgment didn't stall. If not for Noah's floating crate, there'd be no life at all. No life at all. No life at all. If Noah and his ancient beard, his wife just rolled her eyes. They boarded raptors, stegosaurs too, all trained to sit and stay. 2 T-Rexes in bunk bed stalls, what could go wrong, we say? 3 sons with wives who taught the dinos how to harmonize. Who taught the dinos how to harmonize? There's gators, frogs, and woolly mammoths, zebras sharing beds, triceratops and kangaroos stacked 10 high on their heads. The ark was built with cubic math and doors that sealed with prayer. You ask about sanitation, don't go there. Just don't go there. Just don't go there. So come aboard this sacred ship where science hits a wall. With creatures from all continents, pre-flood we had them all. The timeline's tight, the logic light, the rain began to float. And now you're on a bumpy ride aboard the magic zoo boat. The magic zoo boat. The magic zoo boat. The magic zoo boat. Unicorns dashed to catch the ark, but tripped on fairy tales. They stopped to charm the woodland elves and slipped through magic veils. Their horns aglow, they missed the boat, no place for their parade. Now stuck in myths and bedtime dreams where fantasy should stay. Where fantasy should stay. But what about old Sasquatch? Did Bigfoot make the trip? Was he too hairy, tall, or shy to board that wooden ship? He maybe hid behind the trees or snuck in with the apes, or rode the flood out on a log. Or rode the flood out on a log. Don't fall for tales of magic boats or creatures 2 by 2. Get smart, ask questions, that's the best thing you can do. Education shines the light that clears the myths away. So keep your mind wide open and learn what's true today. Learn what's true today. Learn what's true today. Hey, with Skipper Noah at the wheel and wife supreme with nerves of steel. 3 sons with 0 sail and flair. Their wives who brought salon gray hair. 2 rhinos juggling on the deck and Bigfoot hiding near the wreck. Here on the magic zoo boat. Here on the magic zoo boat. Here on the magic zoo boat.
What's happening?
What happened? Did Dave get on the boat?
He got on the boat.
The Easter Bunny is seeking his
There we
vengeance
go.
on us.
I want to hear.
I'm clicking the wrong buttons.
Okay, because I want to hear my "You Rock" song here in a minute.
Yeah, we got Jasper gifting a captive desk membership. We appreciate it, Jasper. And that goes out to Succubusy.
What?
I don't know. Succubusy.
Don't listen, Miss Desk. Don't listen.
I won't listen. And then we've also got Robin Webster dropping 5 captive desk memberships. And they are going to Guy Killed Earl. This one here. GOU, whatever that is. The new UG. Zephyr of Voxel. And Master Black. All got captive desk memberships. And for both of you, we definitely will have to play You Rock.
You rock, let's rock with the fire in our veins. Rock on to
And it also puts Robin Webster at 8 months being a captive desk member. We appreciate you.
I should have had a whole lot more. I should have had a whole lot more. I had like from when you very first got your things, I had Mark Reed for like 3 years and gave it all up when I got hurt. Broke my heart.
So we appreciate everybody that's a member, especially Robin and those in Jasper, giving out captive desk memberships. And we want to remind you that you not only rock, but we hope you have some yummy toast later.
We love toast. We love toast. We love toast. We love toast. We love toast.
Because toast is delicious. Now I have to find my video because I clicked that off too. Because I am such a great producer that I clicked the wrong button. Luckily, it's got its own file. And I've got the hiccups. Excuse me.
Wrappings, they're neatly lying there. So when John,
I want to thank you, Robin. You rock.
You rock, Dave.
Robin.
You rock,
and
Dave.
Robin. That's right. That goes well together. Rock and Robin. All
That
right.
used to be my CB handle until I changed it to Rooster because a friend of mine who died, he always called me Rooster.
Rooster's good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
enters in, what does he see? He sees linen cloth lying there and the head cloth folded separately. Again, robbers, they don't fold laundry. They don't fold the clothes. So the detail is small, but it is powerful.
Maybe if they had OCD, they would, you know. Might have been laundry where they just couldn't leave the house like that, you know.
Powerful.
And it's important for us to comprehend that what we're seeing is how Jesus is showing us hints of himself resurrecting. Okay? And this is powerful because there is chaos outside. Everybody is worried, but inside the tomb there is calm. And I think this is also interesting for us.
Yeah, everybody gets crucified is very calm. You know?
Yeah.
Waking up from the dead, you would be very calm.
They don't have a choice, Dave.
Things are very calm.
They're literally nailed to a bit of wood. So calm that's all they've got. Also, once again, I'll just reinstate this. It's Jesus. He's saying Jesus did this. No, John wrote this. John was not an eyewitness, right? He's the last gospel. Potentially, whatever it is, 90 AD to 110 AD, possibly.
Yeah.
That's 60 years after the event. You're telling me that this guy was like, I don't know, well, yeah, you'd have to be 60, about 70, something around the age of 70 to plausibly be an eyewitness to see that. And then you'd have to go in and go, oh, the clothes are folded. I'm a teenager and the clothes are folded. That's unusual.
Yeah, I remember that from being a kid. Right.
Yeah. Because that's what I used to do all the time. Whenever I got out of bed in the morning, I'd always fold my clothes. I'd take my pajamas
bloody
off.
Rags. Yeah.
Fold the clothes. Right. Make my bed, clean my room. Yeah. Always remember doing that.
And even just like you said, remembering everything and writing it all down how many years later is quite a feat.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. No, he always struck me as a very tidy guy, Jesus. Yeah. Despite the fact he was living in the desert and didn't clean his clothes. He always immaculately dressed in sandals and a frock.
Yep.
Yeah.
I say it could have been serious OCD.
Yeah.
A God level OCD. That would be serious.
That would be serious. Yeah. Yeah. Although you would have thought some of the numbers of these miracles would have been a little more on point. I mean,
can't have everything.
Yeah.
Not even with God.
Yeah, exactly. How much wine did he make?
Not enough.
It wasn't enough, was it?
Wasn't enough.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, what? At another point, what a miracle! Like, you know, it's like, oh, we've run out of wine, and we're not pissed enough yet. What are we going to do about this? Oh, I know, Jesus, he's a good fucking bloke. I'll persuade him to buy a few rounds.
Not enough, though.
Hey, boys and girls, I have to get out of here, so I have to leave early. I have a thing.
Did the sheriff's department catch up with you?
They did. They're pounding at the door again. Okay.
Well, don't shoot the sheriff and don't shoot the deputy.
I know.
Don't care what the song says.
I know.
Okay. Bye, Mike.
Good night. We'll see you guys.
Good night, Mike.
Later, Mike.
Take care, Mike.
You know, whether we're in the worst of storms, whether we're going through motions and situations that puts us just really bad, we have Jesus showing us that even though out in the world around us, there could be a lot of trauma, inside we can be at peace. We could be calm.
Especially
sure, I mean,
are you going through something really bad right now? Are you having a really hard, tough time?
Crucified?
Come to my church. Come to my church and let us get our fingers into you. One of us. Fucking hell. The way these people try to take advantage of people going through the hard times, going through grief, and the way they prey on people, it makes me sick.
What they put on the flogger to tear the flesh away, and that's a rough day.
That's not the lesson.
Yeah, the self-flagellation.
That's not the lesson you should take from that, Austin. The lesson you should take from that is kill yourself, and you'll be calm inside. That's the lesson to be taken.
Just don't forget to fold. Fold the bloody rags. So.
I'm not sure I can crucify myself, Simos. I can get like 3/4 of the job done, but after that, somebody else has to come finish it.
If you want calm and quiet, why not just go hang out in a cemetery? Those are calm and quiet. That's what that passage teaches me.
Yeah, apart from the teenagers having sex, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if they do that anymore.
I got to side with Simos on this one.
Yeah, we used to do that when we were kids.
The goth might entertain themselves, but
as soon as I got to 16, that's where I could be found.
We can be organized and gather ourselves. And so again, the resurrection did not erase Jesus's character. So the interesting part of this story as well is that it's a inconvenient witness. How so?
Oh.
Who is the first witness?
Inconvenient witness. That's a good term for it, I guess.
The demon lady.
The demon
That's
lady.
what my mom used to call me.
Look, can I just point this out? It literally says on his screen, formerly demon possessed. Right now, wasn't she undemon possessed by Jesus?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. So basically, he's saying someone who is not demon possessed, right? Because if there's one thing we know about Jesus, he can de-demonize you, right? If there's anything you want to know about Jesus,
you off a cliff. Yeah.
There's one thing you want to know about Jesus. He's your man to go to when you want to get de-demonized.
Yeah, apparently just his name can kick the demon out of you.
And then secondly,
which is interesting because his name probably wasn't actually Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah. And then on top of that, right, in a culture where women were not trusted as legal witnesses, I don't think there's anything legal going on here. Right? I'm pretty sure Jesus was an illegal, number one. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been crucified. And number two, there's no court of law going, oh, did somebody steal the body? Oh, if only we had some like sensible witnesses. No, I don't think that ever happened either. So, like, both of these parts are just ridiculous. And then the other thing, of course, I hate to make this because even William Lane Craig had to be brought up on this one, which was who else would go to anoint the body with herbs and spices other than women? That's it.
That's their job.
If you want to make the story more believable, you send the women to do a woman's job. Just saying that.
Yeah.
If they'd sent the men to do it, I'd be arguing the same way, going, yeah, that's something special going on there if they sent the men to do the woman's job. But no.
Yeah, I've always brought that up too. That was their job to do it. So it's not unusual, and it's not, oh, why did they mention the women? Because that's what was normal for the women to do.
Yeah. So it's not an embarrassing criteria by any sense. In fact, it makes the story more plausible. And this is what I mean. They, like Christians, they get so lazy. They get so fucking lazy. They don't even do any work themselves to find out that some of their arguments are just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's it. They'll just repeat. Once they've heard some pastor saying it, they'll just repeat it ad nauseum.
Yeah, so that's kind of how humans evolved, right? We evolved to not to have epistemic hygiene. We evolved to share stories around a campfire, and part of the way you survived was you just listened to what people who had experience told you, your parents or the other elders in the tribe. And I suppose that worked well enough for the time it was the primary survival strategy. But now we live in a world with a thing called the internet that's full of disinformation, and people are still pretending like this 2,000-year-old book that doesn't even mention computers or the internet is still the best guide to how to live your life, which is insane. Literally insane.
Well, unless you take into account what you just said about an appeal to authority, right? And let's face it, there's no bigger appeal to authority than being a Christian. You know, fallacy as it is, right? So that's why I think that they can get up and be this brazen and actually believe what they're saying is because they don't understand that it's a fallacy to appeal to authority the way they are. They think that God is the authority of everything. So I guess they think it's not a fallacy.
I would just like to point out that the flat earthers now have new pictures to deny that ever happened.
Dude, flat Earth is on like copium light support. Man, first the final experiment happened, and now the Artemis 2 launch. It's like, who is even still left in this cult? It must just be the most extreme and uneducated people. It's like the Nigerian prince effect.
I'm pretty sure Widget or whatever his name's in there. But like they sent back a picture, and then they got they had their interview live and stuff. Yeah. So they got all new pictures. We'll be seeing those pictures next year. What's his name? Widget. Yeah.
Yeah, Widget or something.
I called him Widget.
Yeah, twats it. That's what I call him. But like, when did that mission get planned? Does anybody know?
I call him Witspit on account of him spitting on his wife, or spits it. You know, just work the word spit into there somehow.
Does anybody know when that Artemis 2 was planned?
I don't know, but I know they're not planning the landing for 2 more years, so you've got to be years out.
I know he got arrested though. When you was telling about the Black Hill story and the Mount Rushmore, he got arrested. He got arrested at Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, he got arrested at Mount Rushmore. He got arrested after spitting on his wife. And then Nathan Thompson got arrested for screaming at a bunch of children while they were playing on the playground at school, like leaning over the fence and yelling at them. And so it really seems like flat earthers. There's an extreme trend of hardcore antisocial behaviors and serious mental illness.
I thought it was funny when we were talking about Mount Rushmore, and he got arrested there for what, streaming or something? Wasn't he streaming?
I think he was like yelling at people, and he got arrested for disturbing the peace.
Oh, okay. So where did he go? They didn't lock him up somewhere in a mental institution, hollering at people.
I got a message from Scott that he's got to go, and thanks everybody. Thank you, Scott, for being here.
Thank you, Scott.
Bye, Scott.
Yeah, either way, these Christian nationalists are a special breed. They seem to be holier than thou, but they aren't. And that's usually the way it is.
Yeah, they did a little prayer. I saw a little goofy prayer they did the other day. Did you see that? I heard you mentioning something about it a while ago. And they all, like just a few days ago, they're so creepy.
They are.
It was Mary. Yeah. And so, formerly demon-possessed, we see this in Luke chapter 8, verse 2. In a culture where women were not trusted as legal witnesses. If you were...
Yeah, she's not trusted, and she was formerly demon-possessed. But let's pay attention to everything she has to say. Okay, I see a little problem. A little problem there. A little problem.
That was his plan. He picked out the witness like that. Like, here's her all picked to be the witness.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to be the best people to pick, but that's a good thing in the Bible that that God chose Paul, who used to persecute Christians and everything. That it's good to pick these people that are former screw ups. I mean, why pick and then pick on people that are good? Like Job, who was a righteous man. Let's pick on Job, but let's not pick on Paul, right? Let's give Paul a sainthood and everything.
But at least Paul could write. He was like the only literate person probably in the Bible.
Yeah, that's true.
This is also a common theme with people who get abducted by UFOs. They claim that the UFOs deliver some super secret important message that they were chosen to deliver. Like Tool even made a song about it, making fun of that kind of mindset, called Rosetta Stoned. It's on the album 10,000 Days, I think, but it's a great song. It's super funny, and it's like the lyrics are hilarious. It's talking about a guy sitting at his need to know post outside of Area 51 when a flaming stealth banana splits the sky wide open, and he spills his coffee right on his Birkenstocks, and Uncle Quark takes him in the ship, and he pisses his fucking pants, and they chose me. And I didn't even graduate from fucking high school. Like,
yeah. Great fucking band, by the way. Fucking great band.
One of my favorites.
Great players, really talented players.
Tilty Windmill's got something up from the CDC about getting your shingles shot. Make sure you get your shingles vaccine.
Yeah, it's nasty if you get that.
You don't want it, and if there's a vaccine for something, get it, because then you don't get it, or you won't get it as badly, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, for something that's as bad as that, yeah, for sure.
I know it. It put my father in the hospital, and you don't need that in your life, so don't do that.
A vaccine trains your body to make the antiviral product with the perfect molecular geometry to repel a pathogen without you having to experience the danger and deadliness that is that full-on pathogen itself. It trains your system up against a weakened version that's less dangerous. You might still get some fatigue or some other mild side effects, but let me tell you, those side effects are way better than the side effects of whatever disease that vaccine is preventing, and shingles is definitely no exception.
With all the things they can't do anything about, take advantage of things they can do something about.
Inventing a religion, you would never choose her. This
Yeah, you would never choose most of the people in the Bible, yet they were chosen, weren't they?
Well,
so I don't think that's a good argument.
I mean, you would choose a woman. That's the point. That's why they chose a woman to be there, because it authenticates the story.
You're right. It's like, you said with William Lane Craig, it authenticates. It doesn't take away from it. Now,
the criteria of embarrassment. I think
it also makes me worry, but
mistake as well.
Yeah.
Detail argues for authenticity. So again, we see how the first witness is a woman, and again, in the culture, it wasn't common to trust in women. We see how.
Yeah,
and it's not in the culture. It's not
she
to
ran
trust
and
women.
got Simon. She ran and got Simon and Peter or whoever. It wasn't like there was a big lapse of time or anything, unless she told no one. You believe that story, but in the other one, she ran, and then those guys ran to the tomb, so there couldn't have been much time.
No, Dave. Why would they run to the tomb? Why would they believe her? Because she's a woman.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shut up, bloody woman!
Right.
Go, fucking get us another beer.
Go talk to your demons. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what the hell? So, I mean, the whole thing, right? Just doesn't make any fucking sense.
They believed her well enough. Sure.
Yeah, they believed her. Oh, yeah. Well, they believed her. Yeah, and it's not that. It's not that women weren't trusted in that society. That's just not the case, right?
Yeah.
That it specifically says in a court of law, right? Why she might be on a period or some shit. I don't know why.
Yeah, put her out in a shack.
You know what I mean?
For the whole week, right?
Yeah. Well, like whatever. It's longer. I don't know. Maybe it's a week. Maybe it's a bit longer. I can't remember. Oh no, it's when they give birth, right? So it's 33 days they're unclean for if they give birth to a male boy, and 66 if they give birth to a female.
God,
ridiculous.
Gives women certain things, certain tasks to elevate them, to prove His mercy and His grace. And so it might be in.
He's proving His mercy and grace by you're not supposed to listen to them.
Yeah, of course. That's it.
You're making less and less sense, buddy.
And you should never touch a woman flesh to flesh. Of course, that's what the rabbis say. The Orthodox ones.
You get the cooties.
Yeah.
Convenient for Christian argument, but it's interesting because Jesus, He gives us this first witnessing account as a woman, and I think that's actually very powerful. But there is more. Check this out. 4 historical anchors. What is the first one? The fatal crucifixion. We're going to be diving into these as we go.
Isn't crucifixion fatal?
Well, all but one case that's known of, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
First is the fatal crucifixion. Number 2, empty tomb.
Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. All right.
Right.
Number 3, eyewitness appearances. And we're going to go into that as well.
And Apologia addresses this. There's actually very few eyewitnesses.
And number 4, transformation for the disciples. All right, so let's unpack that. The first one, the fatal crucifixion. Jesus truly did die. Professional.
Yeah, well, if you're crucified, you die. I mean,
you tend to die. Yeah.
You tend to die.
Assuming he was a real person.
Assuming that he was crucified, yeah.
Also, it's worth noting that he didn't last very long compared to normal crucifixions.
No, only a couple hours.
Well, I think tops he lasted 18 hours tops. Right. So
Well, it's not even that.
whereas
Yeah.
most people
Friday-
take a few days
Friday
to die at least. So, like,
afternoon, he
40
was
hours plus.
put on trial, and by sundown he was taken down. So yeah, it's only a matter of hours. So
executioners, the Roman executioners, this was their highlight. You would see this when you were going to Rome.
No, it wasn't.
Highlighted
Wasn't
their
the
day.
fucking highlight. They were as lazy as the next fucking group of people when it came to these fucking things. But like, if you want to make that argument, you could say that because he was, you know, a criminal of the highest intent according to the Roman Empire, so he was guilty of insurrection, which is a traitor's. So he got a traitor's death.
King of the
So
Jews.
they're going to make sure that he dies. I mean, there's no two ways about that. So I don't doubt that he died because the Romans wanted him dead. The only difference is this bullshit story about asking Pontius Pilate to release him early, you know, or let him come down from the cross after he died. That's just not how the Romans did things. So it's bullshit again.
They had people crucified, people who were thieves,
I think it was Herod.
people who were...
Sorry, wasn't it Herod the Great that allowed him to come down, not Pontius Pilate? I think that's one of the two distinctions. In one gospel,
Herod was already dead, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, one of them, Herod, was Pontius Pilate wasn't the governor anymore, and Herod was dead in the other one. So
I think Herod's already dead. Because that's how they date Jesus, isn't it?
So was it Pontius Pilate that let him come down early, or?
Yeah, whoever was in charge, which would be Pontius Pilate.
I'm not sure. I thought it was part of the deal of getting Jesus down was the head of John the Baptist or something.
We need Scott to look it up.
Yeah, guys, people that know the Bible. Could you just tell us, like, is that in a different gospel or something? Am I getting it confused?
Yeah, because Herod died, and that's where they have the problem with Jesus's life, because they'd said to Jesus was born within a couple of years of his death or something like that.
Oh, well, that would make
how it goes.
Sense, yeah. I can't remember. Didn't somebody, a woman, dance for? I'm guessing it's Herod, right? And ask for the head of John the Baptist. That's a story in there somewhere. Let me look it up. Okay.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna do it anyway. Salome, right, who was one of the people that found the tomb, danced for Herod to please him. Herod promised to give her anything she asked. Prompted by her mother, Salome requested the head of John the Baptist on a platter. Herod, though distressed, ordered John's execution to keep his promise. So yeah, Salome was one of the witnesses in a different thing.
Mine's not typing for some reason.
What a bizarre story. Like, you have to fucking decapitate and execute somebody instead of just being like, no, pick something else. Like, really?
I get it. Imprison John.
Like, if I told my daughter, do something and you like get a good grade on your test and we'll do whatever you want, and she's like, okay, I got a good grade on my test, let's drive off a cliff, I would just be like, no.
I'm sure I read it earlier in one of these gospels.
It's just like it's unsophisticated.
There we go.
The kind of writing you would expect from pre-scientific, pre-philosophical tribes of, ancient humans that
Goat herds.
barely knew their asshole from a hole in the ground.
So it says here in the Gospel of Mark, Mary Magdalene is joined by other women like Mary, the mother of James, and Salome. Right? And Salome is the one that danced for Herod. Right? So Salome both went
Is
to
it
the tomb.
Salome or Salome?
Oh, I don't know how you pronounce it, mate.
I think it might be Salome.
Okay. Salome then. I'll go with your pronunciation because I don't give a fuck. But whatever it's pronounced as, right? Presumably it's the same person.
Yeah, Herod died in the spring of 4 BCE.
Oh, okay. Before Jesus was born. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, that's right around when Jesus was born. Herod the Great, 72 to 4 BCE.
Do you know they've Christianized? Chat GTP has been Christianized. Just saying.
Why not?
It really has, because like it says here, bottom line is the most consistent answer is Magdalene or other one, depending on the gospel. No, why this historically matters. Women's testimony is often considered less reliable. Not true. Only in a court of law. Including women's as the first witness is unlikely to be invented, which some see as supporting the authenticity of the tradition. And why this matters historically. I mean, they're literally just repeating. ChatGPT is just repeating the Christian talking points, not the historical talking points, or not at least what the consensus of historical Old Testament scholars
The White
say.
House got a hold of ChatGPT too.
Bad news.
That's not surprising to me. I've had to correct AI on all kinds of stuff before, and lots of AIs are like really, they're really stuffy. Like if you tell an AI to make a picture of somebody laughing at the Bible, there's a 50-50 chance that it won't do it. It'll be like, oh, I can't produce content that disrespects a religious view, blah blah blah. It's really silly.
I know Elon's real stuffy, unless he asks it a question, and then it's not stuffy. So, haha, Elon.
Thank you, Skeptic. Thank you, Robert. Salami.
Salami.
Yeah. Me, whatever. Yeah, it matters little to me.
They're dead and gone.
I've never read the Bible completely, so I don't.
The great and holy salami.
Yeah.
All hail the salami.
Makes more sense to me. You know what I mean?
Murderers, people who, they were just lined up one after the other to show how, the Roman justice did play a role. And again,
that's not how that works. That's not how that works, guy. Crucifixion, right, was like really just saved for traitors.
Swift justice.
Yeah, those that rebelled against the Roman Empire. Right, if you just murdered somebody, right, you'd probably get fed to the lions, or become a gladiator, or have to pay a lot of money if you had it to get out of it.
It's important for us to understand that it wasn't the first time that the Roman soldiers were crucifying. This is something very common. It was very normal. And it did highlight the force, the strength that Rome possessed. This is one of the ways that they...
That's right. F around and find out. And Jesus did. He pissed off the wrong Romans. It's not hard to do. You go around running your mouth about... you're leading an uprising or a large group of people or something, that makes Rome very nervous, and they're going to get rid of you.
Well, also, you consider the history, right? They'd been pissing them off for quite a long time before that. And like Rome hadn't done much about it. They sent a legion in or something, and just to try and sort it out, realized they needed more people, couldn't be bothered to do it because it's just wasn't worth it to them, right? Until they became a political tool by one particular general to find he needed some conquest, because that was the way you became popular back in Rome. So he marched 3 legions in there. Basically whipped everybody's ass.
Tortured and killed individuals who they thought, deserved death. And so physical evidence, we see that there was a spear in his side. There's connection there as well with prophetic language, as, when they stab, he was already dead, and we see this in John chapter 19. And then from that, we have blood and we have water, which also connects to Moses, and there's a lot of connections there.
Oh, no. Stop that. No, that's not the connection, right? The reason the stabbing in the side is there is because water came out, right? And that shows that he was dead, because it's only after you stop breathing that the water gathers in the lungs. Right? So they stab you in there to open the lungs up to see if water comes out.
I didn't get the Moses reference either, but
it's the Red Sea.
Yeah, that's not why. They, like Simos said, when you're dead, you fill up with fluid. So I failed to see that, but whatever.
There is medical confirmation that supports death. We see, I've seen countless medical physicians explain the cross, explain the crucifixion, even from before hanging on the cross, all the excruciating pain that Jesus had to go through, how Jesus had already died before that spear on the side.
So how does that connect to Moses? It doesn't.
But also, I mean, the mercy kill that they did sometimes is not to spear them in the side. That's to make sure that they are definitely dead. The mercy kill is to break the legs.
Notice the use of medical physicians, not non-medical. This is the kind of language you use when you're trying to gin your story up and make it sound more credible than it is.
Yeah.
Like when people talk about James Tour, he's not a chemist. He's a synthetic chemist with 900 publications and blah, 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 blah. There's no such thing as a non-medical physician, but just physician.
Well, also, there's no such thing as medicine, right? I mean, it's literally more like witch doctors back then.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So there's a few herbs. You might know how to use a few herbs, but if you do, it's only because you have Greek knowledge.
It's the same level of medical expertise they have at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I mean, when did Galen live, for fuck's sake? Let's just find that out. Dates. Galen lived in the Roman Empire. The dates are 129 CE. So the inventor of medicine, or the medical practice, was 129 CE.
Don't want to go to that guy.
Well, that's the guy you go to, right? That's what kick-started medicine in Europe.
Then not now.
and it kick-started in spite of the church, not because of the church. The church fought that progress. They fought allowing people to do autopsies. They have fought allowing people to investigate the human body and develop medical methods. They wanted their witch doctors to be in charge of things.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. So you're talking about Vesalius, who lived in Pisa, or close to Pisa. I can't remember the name of the city exactly. But the thing at the time there is they had something called Christian humanism, right? Which was this departure really from Christianity into like looking for scientific evidence, etc., and the empirical method starting.
Yeah, the scientific revolution, or rather the early roots of it, at least.
It kind of started there, yeah, and it wasn't till the didn't start properly till after the 1500s, right? So I think Vesalius might have been late 1400s, early 1500s, and it wasn't till the Arab knowledge of Aristotle came through Cordova, translated into Latin, that really the Renaissance started, or scientific method was really discovered. But anyway,
the swoon theory
I
doesn't
digress.
hold. The hallucination theory doesn't hold because it was true that Jesus did die. Okay, so dead means dead. It doesn't
Swoon
mean
theory.
that he was possibly alive. It means he was crucified, and we have historical evidence to show for that.
Oh, well, no, we don't.
Number
No, we
two.
don't have. Hang on a minute. We don't have historical evidence that he was actually speared in the side.
Correct.
Right. With that, we don't have. Right. And if he didn't get speared in the side, then the swoon theory could still possibly be correct. Right. So, no, you haven't ruled it out.
Tomb.
And
So
also,
even critics-
I just want to point out the dead equals dead things. Sometimes in philosophy, equivalences like that are useful, but that's not useful by itself. Dead equals dead doesn't tell us anything. You need more steps to your syllogism if that's what, like, you're starting something there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because he might not have been dead when they took him down early, and that's why they took him down early, and that's why they ushered him off, and that's why the body disappeared, because he wasn't actually dead. There's another possibility. So
yeah, there's a lovely story that he went to India and became a Buddhist.
There's a tomb in India. There's a tomb in Japan. There's different places where he supposedly took off to that, and then he died later there. It depends who you believe, and there's no evidence of a body, so you take it all on faith, and so.
Exactly.
What was the thing, the Taiping Rebellion, where it was led by a guy who thought he was Jesus's brother, or thought he was the reincarnation of Christ, or something like that? Am I remembering that accurately, or am I misremembering that?
It could be. I know the tomb in India is accompanied by footprints that supposedly is of the person inside, but there's no evidence of who the person is.
The thing that I remember for sure about it is that there was a Christian conflict in China, and that a lot of people died as a result of it. And it's called the Taiping Rebellion. I believe the leader thought he was related to Christ somehow. Either he thought he was the reincarnation of Christ, or he thought he was claimed to be Christ's brother, or something like that.
There's been quite a few of them.
I thought that. How do you spell Thai? Is it T-A-E?
Taipeng, Taiping Rebellion.
Yeah. Okay, so China. Let me just. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Hong Quzhang or Quan claimed to be the younger brother of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right.
Aimed to establish a Taiping heavenly kingdom, theocratic quasi-Christian state.
Yeah. And you know what it makes me think about, hearing somebody claiming that they're the brother of Christ, is just like the family dynamics. Like, Jesus got all the attention. He was the golden child. Jesus never did anything wrong, and his little brother was always getting blamed for it. Jesus would eat the cookies off the refrigerator, and his brother would take the blame.
It says here, estimated 20 to 30 million deaths, making it one of the deadliest conflicts in history.
Yeah, and I have encountered theists who have the gobsmacking audacity to say that all those deaths that atheism is responsible for those deaths, when Christianity is directly responsible.
Yeah. Also, it's not fought against atheists, right? I mean, the dynasties, they were all godheads. They were all emperor gods.
Except for the ones that were secular humanists.
Right.
Because we've had several debates where the secular humanists of Mao and Stalin got brought up.
Oh yeah, but they're not emperors.
No, but just go and know the secular humanists seem to be responsible for a lot of deaths, according to like Wilson and stuff.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously the Khmer Rouge as well, but I think the number of deaths. I mean, again, this is something I was quite amazed about actually, which is the number of deaths in the Second World War, apart from Russia, are actually quite low. They're actually quite low. So I think it's something like, not including the civilians, obviously, that were bombed in London and so etc. in the different cities. It's something like 500,000 men died in the Second World War. British men died in the Second World War. It's less for America. And overall, I think it's something like 15 million or 20 million. Yeah, 20 million Russians.
There's a Jasper list of people that claim to be Jesus. So there you go.
Funnily enough, and ironically enough, Jesus is not on that list.
Hello, true, Mark. Yeah. How you doing? From over the pond is Mark Reed.
The pond. No, I think he's a bit more than over the pond.
The big pond.
Yeah, oh right, yeah, okay.
He's over there on the other side of our flat dirt pizza shaped earth. Yeah. And he never experiences nighttime while we're experiencing daytime, because that's made up by the globalist Illuminati elite. How's it going, Mark?
Dig enough in your yard, you'll find Mark.
Also worth noting, Mark has incredibly strong biceps from holding on.
Yeah. Upside down all day long.
Yeah. We got to be careful. I think we're going to give him an aneurysm.
Plus, he can do an amazing cartwheel.
Massive biceps.
Huge.
Admit that the tomb was empty. If the body existed, Romans could have ended Christianity instantly. Rome was
Why would they?
It
was never about a fucking religion. It was about killing a fucking traitor.
And you can make up anything about the body. I mean, he even though the body was there, he could just still left the body. Christians leave the body and go to heaven and all kind of stuff. I mean, if you're going to make up stuff, it doesn't really matter what you make up, right?
Yeah.
What they made up doesn't make any sense because of all the things we've been talking about. So it just seems to there are a lot of problems to him rising from the dead, including that they believed a woman who they shouldn't believe, who they went running when they shouldn't believe, and she was possessed by demons, so they shouldn't believe, but yet they believed anyways. So you can make up about anything, and then you're going to believe because it's written down and to believe, right?
And as far as I'm aware, the Romans didn't really care about religions, other religions. As long as you worshipped the emperor, they're happy. They're fucking happy as gold. You can worship anybody else you want, no fucking problems.
But that's like with the Muslims too. The Muslim countries, you can't be other religions. Yes, you can, as long as you give them some money. Well, you don't go against their religion. Yeah.
As long as you're off the book, right? That's the stipulation, right? You have to be off the book.
Don't bother anybody, and they won't bother you.
You have to be Abrahamic, so they don't like Hindus at all.
Well, that's not true on all of them, because there's a lot of like crime, like violence between those two, like in Africa, like in Nigeria, where the Islam and Christianity.
Oh yeah, that's
in Nigeria. There's a lot of violence. Like
Sure.
they do some really bad stuff.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's genocidal almost, but that's because they don't pay tax to the Muslims.
Yeah, you have to. You have to
pay
give
tax.
them money.
Yeah,
you have to give them money.
It's quite a lot as well. I think. Can't remember, 15% or something.
Yeah, it's skeptics got it. We mentioned earlier. Elvis still shows up. People still believe that Elvis is running around. So,
That's right.
you know.
That's what I'd say to that.
Well, it's been 3 hours, and I'm not convinced that Jesus was who they say he was. I will grant, and although we use different wording, as Simos said, whether Jesus existed or not, whether he was crucified or not, it really doesn't make any difference, because they've made up so much stuff that if you're going to make up stuff, you could have used anybody. You could have used Elvis, and it would have made this just as good a story, as far as I'm concerned.
More entertaining, at least.
And the whole empty tomb thing, it just doesn't make any sense from the start, because like we've been saying, didn't make any sense for Jesus to come down, and it surely doesn't make any sense that the women are criticized for being sent first, even though women were sent to treat the bodies. And the story is so goofy from one end to another. I don't see how it proves anything, and his different points are not proving anything either, because of course crucifixion is fatal. I mean, that's the idea. And if the tomb was empty, first of all, you've got a lot of problems with there even being a tomb. And then there's a lot of reasons why it could be empty. And why did Mary have a predisposition that they were out to steal the body? I think it was Simos said, or Robin, that it would just add to the story that he did rise from the dead if the body was missing. It would make more sense for the Romans to leave the body and say, no, see, he didn't rise from the dead, than to take the body.
Not the Romans. Not the Romans.
Whoever did.
The Sanhedrin, right?
The Sanhedrin. Yeah, anybody. If they took the body.
The Romans wouldn't give a shit. They've killed him. He's dead. He's no longer a troublemaker.
Right.
That's
right.
the bottom line.
Well, that's what I often say is you F around and find out. And that's what happened with Jesus. So.
And again, all of these points, right? If you go to any, like, if you just do some basic Google history searches, right? Then all of these points have just been debunked so many times, right? That he's literally just repeating apologetics now from people who know very fucking little.
Yeah,
and that. I don't think there's any excuse to do that in an age where you've got Google and you can just go criteria of embarrassment. How does that work? Right. And they go, oh, well, it's not such a good argument, And there's Christians saying that as well as skeptics.
He brought up them dying for their belief too. And there's no evidence that the disciples died for their belief either.
No, it doesn't say anything about that.
And there's only 2 deaths that are in the Bible anyways. It doesn't even give credence to it that they'd all died because they believed a certain thing, or that they even were given the chance to recant what they believed in. They were killed for other things.
They wouldn't have been given a chance if Jesus, like we're saying, right, had been an insurrectionist. Right? They would have been his followers, and therefore they would have believed in insurrection. So they would have been crucified as well, according to the Roman way of doing things, right? Oh, yeah, you're one of the Jesus crowd. Up you go, mate.
Swift justice. That's right. Get rid of the problem.
And they would have left them up for a fucking week in that place, I'm telling you, just to make it stink.
And as far as the empty tomb, that's their greatest talking point, and that's what they'll hold on to, but it doesn't make any sense to the rest of us. So why they hold on to it, it only makes sense to themselves. they appease themselves with it, I guess.
Dave, I've got to say this again. It only makes sense if you know that is Jesus's tomb. It doesn't make sense just because there's an empty tomb. Is absolutely no evidence for a resurrection.
There's numerous empty tombs.
Yeah.
That's why it's my favorite piece of evidence.
I mean, I have to tell you this, right? But people died a lot back then.
Yeah.
People died a lot.
Many have died. Business,
they all died. Many such cases.
The tomb fucking business was booming, right? That was just like, if you wanted to get in on a sure thing, you become a tomb maker.
And if you were beaten and survived crucifixion, and you were taken down early, and Jesus woke up and said, "Whoa, I've had a bad day," you don't think he would hang around, do you? No. Then he leads to the stories of the tomb in Japan and India, where Jesus took off and got out of country as fast as he could, even if he had to crawl. And other people helped him get him out of there, because surely they would have discovered him. They would have put him right back on that cross. So there's no reason for him to hang around. And then you have the people who wink and a nod. Yeah, that's Jesus. They didn't even recognize Jesus when he's back from the dead. And surely somebody who's back from the dead, you'd recognize them as, whoa, dude's back from the dead. There's just it goes on and on.
They literally had dinner with him last week.
Yeah, and like Austin said, he could very well be in a tomb in another country, because he would have got out of Dodge.
Well, I want to see the gritty sequel where Jesus escapes and he gets to drag himself to safety, and then there's a training montage of him in the mountains, bench pressing goats, and then he comes back and he just beats the shit out of Pontius Pilate. And he says a bunch of cool one-liners like "crucify this."
Well, they set everything up like there's only one possibility, when it seems like there's endless possibilities, and the number one being, like Simos and I have repeated, you didn't get taken down from a cross. You were put up as a warning to others. And it just doesn't make any sense, especially that he was leading an uprising, supposedly, and everything against those in charge, that they were worried about this guy enough that they would have accommodated every wish of him being taken down early, buried in a tomb, so everybody knew, oh, look, you get buried in a tomb, you're treated nicely, and all these good things.
Pretty nicely after you get crucified. That's,
Right.
Also,
so it doesn't seem plausible at all.
At this point, Pontius Pilate was a little bit worried about his position, because the revolt was going quite well for the
and they
for the
knew
Hebrews.
What happened in a revolt too. I mean, you have a revolt, you could just as easily lose your head as anybody else.
It literally made Rome send another couple of legions there, which they didn't really want to do.
And then ultimately, yes, Christianity is unique, and I am tired of hearing that. All religions are unique, or they would all be the same religion. So
yes, we have
using the unique argument.
3 Abrahamic death cults fighting each other in the Middle East right now.
Yeah.
They're not. It's not exactly unique.
It is like, what is it?
Well,
it is
their
desire to be the main character in a cosmic battle between good and evil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A dance, as the Hindus say.
Hey, y'all come to my show at Raw. I'm going to do on rude people.
Yeah, go check out Robin later, and go check out her video on who she's bad mouthing this week. And,
I've got a few things to fucking say about being rude, mate.
But come on, I love rude. I love rude British people.
Don't forget to check the description for everybody's links, Answers in Atheism, and I tried to put Austin in. My keyboard isn't typing. I'll put Austin in later, but you can find Austin there. You can find Simos, and Simos, what do you got coming up? Your racing season's in full swing, isn't it?
Well, it started, but unfortunately, somebody invaded a country in the Middle East. And because of that, we can't go to the next 2 races, which were, I think, Saudi Arabia and Qatar. So those 2 races have been cancelled. So we've got a gap now for 2 races, and our next race is in Miami at the beginning of next month. So we've got a whole month to go without any races. So I've got no Formula One, you'll all be pleased to hear. And I am thinking of trying to do the Mike thing and get Mike's argument going on for a State of the Onion. That's my intention. I've been feeling a little difficult lately, unfortunately. They gave me some an IV drip to help my bones, but it's made all my joints really stiff. So I'm now like bandaged
That's
up.
how I am. Every time they promise that something's going to fix me up, it gives me some kind of side effects.
Side effects. Yeah, it's exactly it.
Long as
I
it's
was
not
telling a girl about
leakage.
having a rash and everything, and it's like if it's not one thing, it's another. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, oh my god! And this one is painful. I'm like, my arm kills me.
We wish you all the best, Simos. We all do.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm hoping to do a State of the Onion on Mike's argument, although he's probably sorted it all out by now. But I really, really do want to do it. So
you know how much he likes philosophy. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I want to do it, but I'm just not good enough to do his argument because I've read it a few times, and I'm like, I
don't know what Mike's got coming up. I don't know of anything, but pay attention to Answers in Atheism. Don't forget all the links are in the description, and while you're in the description and you're down there below, join the channel. You can get emojis and join the fun. You can also see that there's other channels down there. My Grassman Chronicles is down there. Bree's channel's down there, along with her merch. If you can help out Ember, please do so. That's down there below. And Joe is going to head up the ARC protest again this year.
Yep.
So if you're interested in the ARC protest, go to Joe's channel as well as on his Discord. I understand he has information there. More to come. And I will get the link up for that. And check out Ember. Why am I stuck on Ember? Well, check out Ember. Ember's channel. She's busy all the time.
She needs help. Yep.
And check out everybody's videos that are coming out later on, including Robin, who's on tonight. What time, Robin?
At 8 o'clock. So in about 30 minutes, something like that.
45 minutes, maybe.
Whatever it is. Yeah,
it's a little bit after 8 here. So
tell me how you deal with rude people.
Dealing with rude people. And Austin, what do you got coming up?
Okay, so tomorrow I'm going on Objective Ethics, his weekly live stream that he does. I'm going to try to answer evolution deniers' questions and engage them in some arguments. I'll be talking about whale evolution. I'll be talking about horse evolution. I'll be talking about hominid evolution, dinosaur to bird evolution. We're going to talk about all the big evolutionary transitions that creationists need to know about. And then after that, later in the night, I'll be making my second appearance on Bad Science Sunday over at Maya Atkinson's channel. We're going to be talking about the pee-pee drinkers, the people who think that drinking pee-pee is an ancient health secret, and how coating yourself in pee-pee head to toe is so good for your skin and all that fun stuff. We're gonna get into some real stinky bad science, and it's funny because it's one of the easiest bad science cults there is to dismantle. So easy that you don't even really have to dismantle it. Most people just go, ew, no. They never think about it again.
But some people fall on earlier now, right?
I think she starts at 9 o'clock, 9 or 9:30. I'm terrible with times and schedules, so I don't know.
Maybe you should ask Tacos if you could take Yellow Rain song over there.
Taco too. Taco's on about every day. So
Yeah.
middle of the night, whatever. Check out Taco for a lot of debates going on over there. And,
be sure you mention whale penises too tomorrow, Austin. While you're
of course.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about whale penises for like 30 minutes.
If you could if you could possibly debunk these guys with using like bunny evolution, that would be good as well.
I don't know bunny evolution as well. You know,
look it up. Look it up. It's
all right. All right, I guess I will.
And
I think it's appropriate. You can debunk Christianity and the creationists all in one go.
Simos and I have both been dealing with doctors lately, so you never know if we're going to have the energy level. We try to do stuff, and when we can, we will. Goes for Saturdays as well. I try to do Saturdays. I know I've missed a few, not feeling very good, but they postponed all my medications and everything for a month. So hopefully for the next month, I won't have any side effects of anything. But going on, we'll see on Saturday for Saturday Night at the Atheists. And drugs willing, we'll have our other shows up as well. Simos and I both have plans, but you never know what's going to happen in between now and then. So
absolutely,
we are thinking about you all, and we do miss you, and we do miss doing the shows. Hello. Hello, Alan.
That's our buddy Kurt.
Hi, Kurt. Yeah.
Good to see you, Kurt. And yeah, stop bringing up the whale genitalia. You get Hovind all happy and everything.
Whale penis.
When the first time I debated him, I got him to talk about whale penises for like 15 minutes straight. And then my friend, who's a DJ, took all of the different whale penis statements and mixed them into a whale penis techno song featuring Kent Hovind. Giant penis, giant penis, giant penis. It was fucking hilarious. I got to upload it to my YouTube channel sometime.
Yeah, please do. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah, Club Balls probably enjoyed that one too. Like anytime he could clip Kent saying that.
I think you should really intertwine that with Nub as well. Just so you can
it's wild how many creationist evolution deniers are penis experts, huh?
Well,
I also
have you heard the tacos one, Jim Bob Dick?
Yes, that's what I'm referring to. And I also know a guy on Facebook who's an evolution denying sperm expert. He never stops bringing sperm up when he is arguing about evolution. They're just obsessed with the dick and the balls and the magic jizz. It's wild.
Yeah,
when you don't have it, you're obsessed with it, I guess.
I think Dave would like that song, Jim Bob Knows Dick. Yeah, it's great.
There you go. Go check those out too. And we will see everybody next time. Take care of yourselves, and we will go out with the Captive Desk outro. Goodbye, everybody, and have a good evening. Don't forget to check out Robin later, and check out everybody else this weekend as well. And thanks for tuning in.
And also, before you go, may your fucking God fuck off with you.
There you go.
Just for the Christians, obviously.
Without a sound, history speaks in tales of lore, knocking at the captive desk's door. Oh, legends live within these walls, silent echoes books in the halls, books and stories on the floor. Knocking at the captive text, nerves are wide, hearts are keen, pages turn to secret scene, ancient maps and